where he'll attend the G7 summit. Mr. Biden will push a plan to his G7 counterparts to use the interest from frozen Russian assets to provide up to $50 billion in loans for Ukraine's war effort. Authorities in the U.S. have arrested several people with possible Islamic ties to immigration violations.
8 individuals from Tajikistan with suspected ties to the Islamic State group have been arrested in the United States in recent days. That's according to multiple people familiar with the matter. They say the arrests took place in New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles, and that the men were being tracked by the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. They entered the country last spring and passed through the U.S. government's screening process without turning up information that would have identified them as potential terrorism-related concerns. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security issued a statement confirming the immigration-related arrests of several non-citizens, but did not detail specifics. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Following a guilty verdict on 3 felony gun-related charges yesterday, Hunter Biden faces more legal woes.
This is not the end of the story for Hunter Biden either. He's got charges pending in Los Angeles for a tax case, and that case is set for trial in September, so he still has more on his plate to deal with heading into the election.
That's correspondent Michael Kunzelman reporting. Inflation in the United States eased last month. Consumer prices, excluding volatile food and energy costs, rose 0.2% from April to May. That was down from 0.3% the previous month and was the smallest increase since October of last year. On Wall Street, Dow futures are ahead 306 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Protect big government, and the progressives have done everything they can to silence truth and sanity, but there is a secret weapon out there that they cannot touch. 1 year ago, a new digital streaming platform, the Real Life Network, was launched to provide a desperate world with much-needed programming free from the overreach and interference of government and media. The explosive growth they have seen speaks for itself. In one short year, more than 100 programmers have jumped on board to provide all kinds of content. I'm proud to be among them, as you can find the Dennis Prager Show and several of my interviews on Real Life Network. And, get this, over 30 million minutes of programs that are free from the influence of secular agendas have been viewed. Real Life Network can change your life, and it's free. Sign up now at reallifenetwork.com and receive a free digital download of Countdown, a book from Real Life Network founder, Pastor Jack Hibbs, whom I adore.
There were several primaries yesterday, including one in South Carolina.
In South Carolina's Tuesday primaries, incumbent Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace defeated challengers Bill Young and Catherine Templeton, who had the backing of former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. In Mace's second term, she went from a critic of Donald Trump to receiving his endorsement. She'll face Democrat Michael Moore, a businessman who founded Charleston's International African American Museum. The first district was redrawn to be more Republican, but it's the closest thing to a swing district in South Carolina. In other South Carolina races, Republican Representative William Timmons won a tough fight to retain the 4th District nomination. He'll face Democrat Catherine Harvey. And in the 3rd District, a black pastor endorsed by Trump, Mark Burns, has a June 25th runoff against Sherry Biggs. I'm Jennifer King.
Hungary has agreed not to veto NATO support for Ukraine, but Prime Minister Viktor Orban is refusing to provide funds or military personnel for any joint assistance effort. News and analysis at townhall.com. The U.S. will send Ukraine another Patriot missile system.
The U.S. is answering Ukraine's calls for more air defenses, President Volodymyr Zelensky making this plea in April.
We urgently need Patriot systems.
The Pentagon's routinely provided the Patriot's missiles, but now 2 U.S. officials tell AP the United States will send a second Patriot missile system as Ukraine battles an intense Russian assault on the northeastern Kharkiv region.
This is what can and should save lives.
Ukraine's been trying to fend off devastating Russian glide bombs that have struck its power grid and other civilian areas, as well as military targets. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Kosovo is celebrating what it considers a liberation day, marking the 25th anniversary of the withdrawal of Serb forces after a NATO bombing campaign. Thousands of ethnic Albanians have died under Serbian repression. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to another morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to your halfway day, your hump day, whatever day you want to call it, just so long as you get up and get at 'em. Doggone it, you can make it your day. It's really what it's all about. Stop staring at the backside of them eyelids and do something with it, because it ain't going to go away just because you want it to. The Wednesdayness of it all, the middleness of it all, but alas, we power through. At least we're halfway there. It's like lemon on a pear status. And a happy one to you and to yours. Mixmaster Mike Winters off sale in the 7 or 7.5 C's, I think, at this point. I'm really curious to see how we're doing 3 days in. Maybe at some point in the week, later in the morning, because of course it's his vacation, so he's going to want to sleep in. But maybe at some point we can coordinate with Ms. Kim to do a phone call shipside, just to see kind of how things have been going so far and what's on tap for the rest of Vacation Cruise 2024. But Mixmaster Mike back inside your radios next Tuesday. For now, he is off enjoying himself. But we do have a very tight hour, so I'm going to get things going here pretty quickly because we got a little bit more content than usual on this 7 o'clock hour. So we'll get to that coming up here in just a few minutes. But a happy Wednesday to you and to yours. Let me give you the rundown of the program today, because like I said, we have a pretty packed out first hour here. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to play the interview. I had a chance to sit down yesterday with Miss Joan Bouet and Miss Janine Best. I wanted to prove that, yes, I do know their names. I just fumbled the ball right at the beginning of the interview. But we're going to replay our interview that we had with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. That's coming up here in just a few minutes. And then after that, I thought I'd replay the interview from last week with Dawn Weld, Friends of Bitter Lakes, and of course they're from American Legion Post 61. I had a great little chat with Mike, so we'll replay that interview coming up just after the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15 or so, Brian Luck from the Roswell Independent School District will be stopping by, giving us a rundown of school board meeting and kind of how things are going now that summertime is officially in full swing, and things getting started really early next year for the school year. By the way, August 1st is when we hit the ground running. So enjoy summertime while you got it, kids, because they're coming to take it away very soon. That's coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up about 9:15 or so, we're going to replay the interview we had yesterday with Dr. Sean Powell and Chris Bullard from Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Had a great conversation with him all about different programs and opportunities for you to advance yourself, to find your place in as little as 2 weeks in some cases. Yeah, it's quick work. But we'll dive into that coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15 or so. Plus your hourly features, which include your Kim Commando update, Lou Dobbs business report, your Sean Hannity update, and whatever else comes across this desk on this Wednesday morning. Sans Mike Winters. Like I said, a busy 7 o'clock hour. So with that in mind, neither dilly or dally, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like the heat will hang around through the upcoming weekend. Right around the 100-degree mark for us today. We'll have sunshine, and then tonight clear, dropping to the low 70s. About 105 to 106 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and sunny. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, but it will stay hot, and we'll get some sunshine going up to about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 70 degrees round Roswell Way, humidity at about 73%, winds out of the southeast at about 7 miles per hour, a barometer of 30.09 inches with a dew point of 61 degrees. 101 for the high today with isolated sprinkles after 3 p.m. Isolated Sprinkles, by the way, it's a great name if you're looking for a new band name. Isolated Sprinkles, there you go. High of 101 for the high today, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds coming out of the south. For tonight, mostly clear, dropping down to 69 for the overnight low. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunny skies, and it's going to be hot. 107 for the high on Thursday. Winds out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And for your Thursday night, mostly clear, get down to 74. Winds southeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Got a slight chance of showers between noon and 3 p.m., then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. on Friday. Mostly sunny and hot with a high of around 100. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15. Your chance of precip is only about 20%. 40% chance of rain for Friday night. Overnight low of 68 degrees, but more of the same heading into the freaking weekend. So plan accordingly. Try to do things indoors where there's air conditioning and whatnot. 100 for your Saturday, 105 on Sunday, 105 on Monday, and 103 degrees for your Tuesday morning, or I guess midday. 11 minutes now, 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. Going to take a quick pause, and then we'll replay our interview with the Chaves County Federated Republican women on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer.
When others say no, Roswell Hyundai says yes. The bank manager is at Roswell Hyundai for a short time to say yes. No social security number or ITIN number? Yes. No driver's license? Yes. It doesn't matter. Roswell Hyundai says yes. If you have a job that earns at least $12 an hour, Roswell Hyundai wants to say yes. Roswell Hyundai wants 100% approval, which means they want to say yes to you. Yes. Get zero down, zero payments till fall, plus up to $4,000 more for your trade. Yes. On now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. Yes!
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
To the morning show, I am joined this morning by Miss Janine Bouet and Janine Best and Joanne Bouet from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Off to a great start. How are we doing this morning, ladies?
We are great this morning. We're in a cool down.
Yeah, well, you say that. We're in an election cool down, but we are heating up outside.
We are. Oh, wow. Isn't that the truth?
I'm so thankful that I work in air-conditioned facilities and for the most part, am staying cool, but it has been a brutal summer so far.
It's been wicked.
Mm-hmm.
It's been wicked.
And it's not even summer yet.
Not yet. I'm waiting for the winds to die down.
That's right.
My goodness.
So while it's heating up outside, obviously things got interesting for a few weeks back there, but the election has passed, the primaries passed, and now we set our sights towards November, and all things turning red.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And we're here to educate.
Absolutely. So tell to the morning show. I am joined this morning by Miss Janine Bouet and Janine Best and Joanne Bouet.
A cool down.
Yeah, well, you say that. We're in an election cool down, but we are heating up outside.
We are. Oh, wow. Isn't that the truth?
I'm so thankful that I work in air-conditioned facilities and for the most part, am staying cool, but it has been a brutal summer so
It's
far.
been wicked.
Mm-hmm.
It's been wicked.
And it's not even summer yet.
Not yet. I'm waiting for the winds to die down.
That's right.
My goodness.
So while it's heating up outside, obviously things got interesting for a few weeks back there, but the election has passed, the primaries passed, and now we set our sights towards November, and all things turning red.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And we're here to educate.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, first and foremost, for those who are new to the program, tell us a little about the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, who you guys are and what you're all about.
Okay, I'm Joan Bouet, and I am the president of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. We are 50 years old. We are the largest club in the state as far as membership.
Really?
And we have over 100 people attending our luncheons on the third Wednesday of every month at the convention center.
Awesome.
So doors open at 11:30.
Okay.
Lunch starts pretty much right after that. Okay. We start the meeting right at 12 noon, and we can get you out of there by 1 so that you can get back to work.
There you go. So it's all packaged up into a nice, neat little package. And we'll dive into the important info, of course, what's on the menu coming up here in just a little bit. But how are we feeling, a post-mortem, so to speak, after the primary? How are things after the dust is sort of settled? Are we satisfied? Are we dissatisfied? How do we feel?
I feel that we have to give those that were elected a chance to prove themselves. There are some newbies. We know that we are a minority in Santa Fe.
Right.
They're going to be the freshmen in Santa Fe. I have to mention that Jared Hembry, who was one of our House representatives, was a newbie this session, and he did incredibly well.
Absolutely.
He did so well. Credit
where it's due. You know, when the noobs come in and prove themselves, it's always a good thing for everybody. And you make a great point there that down here it's easy to see things through red-colored glasses, but that sort of starts to fade into blue as you go up to the North 40. You know, and we get kind of forgotten about, which is ironic because we're where the money comes from.
I know.
Exactly. You'd think the ears would be facing this way, but they just never are.
Yeah. So. Well, it's very interesting. For April and May, we had every contested race the candidates come to speak to us. Because as president, and Janine is our second VP, I think we both realize we don't really know our candidates.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we hardly even know their names.
That is a very true statement. Or pronounce them.
Or pronounce them.
Poor Jared, I call him hombre.
So what we decided to do, it is always our mission to inform and educate the Republican voters here in Chaves County. And we were packed. Both months we were absolutely packed. So this month, which is June, which is next Wednesday, we will have the candidates that ran unopposed.
Okay.
Because we don't know them either. And we would like to hear from them 3 things. Number 1, why are they running? Number 2, what are their qualifications? And what do they hope to accomplish when they are elected? Because in all reality, there are 17 Republican positions on the ballot in November. And in Chaves County, every position is held by a Republican and nobody is opposed.
Really?
We are solid.
We're solid.
Red.
That's amazing.
So down in this country, you're not going to see signs, and they won't be calling you because they're already there.
So
they just need to vote for themselves, and they're good.
It'll be a little quieter this election season.
It will. Well,
our brakes won't be as loaded up.
Yes.
Although it is always funny because you get the folks from both sides. We'll actually probably get a couple of Biden spots.
Oh yeah,
before the election season. I'm always like, you don't really know where you're playing. I mean, go ahead. Well, we'll take your money, but it's
exactly.
It's falling on some pretty deaf ears.
And at our luncheons, you get to speak to the candidate. You get to speak to them, so you can tell them what you want, how they feel, so forth and so on, and ask them. And that's the good thing about our meetings. You're informed, but yet you can inform them.
And Mike says it a lot, but this is something that people misunderstand. We focus so much on the national election, on who's going to be the president. The way your voice gets heard the loudest and the most is by through your local representation and the folks that actually listen to you and take it up to Santa Fe.
Correct. Absolutely.
So that's how you make your voice heard.
I did get several phone calls after the election from our members, as if I had this power to make it change, and they were very disappointed in the turnout. If I'm not mistaken, Janine, I believe only 8% of the registered Republican voters came out to vote. But I would like to make a point. The Chavez County Federated Republican Women sent out 3 reminders in March, in April, and in May.
Sure.
In our newsletter, we sent out reminders for people to vote. Our candidates sent out brochures. Our candidates walked door to door.
Absolutely.
Our candidates made phone calls. Our ladies walked door to door. We made phone calls. The Chavez County Republican Party sent out reminders about the election, where to vote, what times to vote, when those election places would be open. I am not sure what else we could do.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's true.
Simple as that. I've said it a couple of times, mostly jokingly. If you want people to show up at elections, you just serve free hot dogs. That's the way we get them.
There you go.
That's the way we get them to remotes. You just bring out hot dogs, maybe some free T-shirts.
Maybe we need to do remotes 100 feet away.
Exactly, 100 feet.
Have a
there you go.
A stand, a hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Well, I will mention this: the Republican Party of Chavez County did have a freebie last evening at was this
Los Cerritos?
Los Cerritos, and it was the food was free and a drink was free, and the room was packed.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, absolutely.
Free food.
It's Los Cerritos. I mean, you ain't just whistling Dixie.
Well, we have a great menu.
Yes, speaking of food.
Janine organizes all of our luncheons.
Yeah. So this month, the third Wednesday, which, what is the date? June 19th.
Yes.
Is at 11:30. The doors will open. We have a sandwich croissant buffet.
Ooh.
Coleslaw, pickles, water, tea, dessert. We've had to include dessert because everybody loves dessert. Yeah, everybody loves dessert. And the luncheon is sponsored by EJ and Toby Ferrat.
Excellent.
So we have a sponsor every month to help us out a little bit. And Joan makes the meetings zip right through. And we'll have a Father Day's theme on the tables. I always decorate the tables. That's kind of a thing that I do.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Coleslaw, I've found recently, is a very divisive side dish.
Yes. You have a sweet, a sour.
There's
crunchy.
There's division within the coleslaw world itself of like, do you like more savory or more sweet? But then there's people that they're like, how dare you? Mike himself, he's like, coleslaw, the only place coleslaw belongs is on a pulled pork sandwich.
No.
I agree with you.
No.
I'm from the South, and I love me some good coleslaw, but it's a very divisive side dish.
Big chunks of pineapple in it.
You know, the fellow that used to own Cattleman's Restaurant.
Yep.
His coleslaw had pineapple in it. It was one of the only places to get it.
Yep, at KFC.
Oh, do they have?
Yes.
Really?
Ooh, I bet that's delicious.
Yeah.
See, yeah, you start talking about food.
There we go. We're done. We've called the day done.
Where the mind goes.
We do have quite a few folks showing up, though, for to speak. They get, about 5 minutes each to speak?
They'll probably get more like 4 if they all show up. We have House District 54, Jonathan Taylor. House District 58, Angelita Mejia. And House District 64, Andrea Reeb. House District 66, Jimmy Mason. 5th Judicial District Attorney, Diana Luce. 8th District Judge Efrain Cortez, District 8 Public Education Michael Moore, and District 4 County Commission Richard Taylor.
Wow, that is a packed house.
That is a packed house.
That's a big card.
I think we had 8 at our table, at the head table, last month.
We had 8, and we'll probably have 11. But we set our tables up and have our own speaker system so you can hear, other than screaming.
One of the biggest concerns that our members have had, because of the way the convention center is set up, that they could not hear. So we had a very generous couple who are our members buy us our own system. And I realize now it really isn't the system, it is the speaker.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah.
And you know that.
Well,
we don't get close enough.
Yeah, but because Mike doesn't wear headphones, sometimes he'll be over here doing something. And I couldn't hear a word you're saying there, bud. Sometimes I get picked up more on y'all's mics than my own.
And we don't even know because we're not educated in this area. So.
Well, and the acoustics too there, both in the old version of the convention center and the newer one. The newer one is a little better with acoustics, but it's just with those high ceilings. And
correct.
It sound reverb is.
Well, a few hearing aids in the room have issues too.
Sure.
We ask you to get there early. Get if you are if hearing is a problem, sit up front so that you can hear. We do ask our speakers to please speak up and to please speak into the microphone, because if they don't get their message across, they have really wasted their time.
Absolutely. And the whole reason we're sending you to Santa Fe is to make your voice heard, so make your voice heard.
Absolutely. Oh, good point.
Amen.
Come on.
Very good point.
If you're the one that's going to speak for us, speak up. That's all I'm saying. What do they say in the theatrical world? Play to the rafters.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, and those rafters are high over there.
They certainly are. Certainly are. So that's going to be happening next Wednesday, the 19th, at the Convention Center. It is absolutely free.
Yes.
And
no,
open.
not free.
That's true. That's true.
RSVP. $17 a plate for
right.
food, or you can come in and sit and listen for free.
Yeah. Well, that's the information is free.
The information is free.
If you want to feed your mind, that's free.
If you want to feed your tummy, though, it's $17 a plate.
And let's face it, you don't want to be sitting in a room full of good smelling food and not.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. There you go. So,
and it's Peppers that caters it for us.
Oh, nice. It's delicious.
So there you go.
I'm a fan of a good croissant witch myself. So come on over. It's going to be an absolutely great afternoon of information. You'll leave well informed, or at least more informed than you were when you got there. Take notes.
Ask questions.
Be listening. Ask questions, because these are the issues that are going to be addressed a whole lot more in the coming weeks.
And get
months.
these folks business cards or their phone numbers so you can call them later personally.
Absolutely. How useful is that to know that you have the business card or the information of somebody who actually makes decisions, or a mover and shaker?
Correct. They have a vote.
Absolutely. That's just good to have.
And I will mention, I believe most of our elected officials are very, very responsive to their constituents. They take the time to talk to you. They take the time to ask to hear about your concerns. And sometimes they have to get involved in your concern. And they do a wonderful job.
And they want to know how you feel. They want to know where you stand, because that's what helps them establish what the need is, what needs need to be fulfilled. And that's key. It's vital. So I encourage you, if you aren't sure about any of the candidates that are running, this is a great chance to come out and get informed. 1 week from today, it'll be happening at at the Convention Center, catered by Peppers. Yes. Starting at, you said 11:30, the doors open.
Yes.
About 30 minutes to enjoy lunch and then learn.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So a busy season as we wrap the one election and we head into another one. Y'all ready for it?
Yes, I think I'm ready for it.
If not, we're getting there, right?
We're getting there.
Yes.
We're getting there.
Absolutely.
We need to work together, and we really need to let the voter know how important it is that they get out to vote.
Your vote counts.
See, and that's something that was brought up with this recent primaries. There was such a wide field of candidates, and it was brought up that a day after all the mudslinging and all the accusations and things, we're still going to have to work together again.
Yes.
We're still going to have to come together as a party and
You have to agree to disagree.
Exactly. So it's what do we do the day after Election Day? That's when we, get to work.
Correct.
So to speak. But it all almost 30 minutes after 7 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Let's take a quick pause and get you up to date with your Travis County Sports Report, brought to you by our friends at DSI.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
Selected, and Dexter has a boatload of players who were selected. 7, in fact. Here's your first teamers. Chloe Mills, a senior at first base for the Demons. Daniela Munoz, only a freshman, was selected first team in the infield, and she was also picked as a second team pitcher for Class 3A. Alexa Miramontes, a junior, was picked first team in the outfield, and J.C. Sanders was picked first team as a designated player. Yolanda Mendoza, for her senior season, capped it off with a second team selection in the infield, and Sarah Phillips was picked second team in the outfield for the Demons. She's a senior. Kayloni Navarez, a pitcher for Dexter, was picked second team for Class 3A. Congratulations to all of you. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The World Bank says the U.S. economy's stronger than expected performance has prompted it to lift its 2024 global growth outlook, but warned that overall output would remain well below pre-pandemic levels through 2026. The National Federation of Independent Business said its Small Business Optimism Index rose 0.8 of a point to 90.5 last month, the second consecutive month it has risen after slumping in March to the lowest level since December 2012. The national average for gasoline prices is $3.44 a gallon. That's according to AAA. That's down 9 cents from a week ago and over 14 cents below the level seen this time last year. Johnson & Johnson has agreed to pay $700 million to settle an investigation by 42 U.S. states and Washington, D.C. into its marketing of baby powder and other products that contain talc when it knew they were linked to cancer. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and all positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screening. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please apply in person at 2702 North Freeman in Artesia, New Mexico. Equal Opportunity Employer.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing multiple hats today, Don Weld back with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Of course, for folks not familiar, Don is a busy volunteer around town when he's not. Today we're talking two of his tentpole organizations, but you might see him in here talking about the zoo. You might see him in here talking about Alzheimer's Association. Right. Today we're going to talk about Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge and American Legion.
And American Legion.
That's our two things here today, but Don's involved in quite a bit of things around town. So
you got to keep busy somehow.
That's right. He's always out and about and keeping things. So do you want to talk Bitter Lake first?
Sure. Let's do that one first.
Yeah.
We got tomorrow at about noon, we're going to have a potluck. It's actually a membership meeting.
Okay.
But if you want to join the Friends of Bitter Lake,
if you'd like to be a member of the Friends of Bitter Lake,
come out at noon tomorrow out at the nature store on the refuge.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. If you've never been out there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you want to join us for lunch, just bring a little side dish.
Excellent.
And because it's kind of like a potluck.
Yeah, potluck.
We're going to provide chicken.
Chicken is the main course. So
main meal.
Bring things that go well with chicken.
Yeah, anything that goes around that. I mean, this is summer. You got to have fried chicken and whatever.
Various potato salads and pasta salads and salads and desserts and maybe, a few some lemonades and what have you. Stuff
there
like
that.
There
All of that kind of stuff.
If you're not familiar, so Friends of Bitter Lake is a volunteer organization,
right?
And their whole drive is to support the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Correct.
The Friends of Bitter Lake are volunteers that do service projects out at Bitter Lake for conservation purposes and things like that. They also run the Bitter Lake store that you go when you go there and shop and purchase books and T-shirts and toys for the kids and all that. All that money is raised by Friends of Bitter Lake, and that goes back into the projects and the conservation efforts that are
back
going
on the refuge
out
somehow.
on the refuge there.
Right.
So, it is supported by membership, people becoming members, and then doing the physical workout at the refuge. When you talk like Dragonfly Festival, all that Friends of Bitter Lake are the ones that are kind of making that happen. Obviously, Steve and the paid staff that work are involved too, but they're kind of there doing the science of the Bitter Lake, and you guys do the kind of the public side of things.
Right. Steve is the coordinator between the Friends and the refuge itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you'd say we report to him or at
but
least
he's kind of your
we work with him.
Your liaison, I guess you could say.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Butterfly Trail, Dragonfly, any other projects that we can work on.
And if you'd like to become a member, if you love going out there, or if you want to love those projects, come to the luncheon tomorrow. But you can learn more about becoming a member, which there's perks to it. I mean, obviously, your financial side and your physically coming and being a part of the projects and things is awesome. But you get also the perks of, there's so much to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge that really the public doesn't access because it's there for the animal and for the plant life. It's not there for us. We're the side. We're not the main reason for Bitter Lake. But if you want to go camping and fishing and all that, Bottomless Lakes is there for you. That Bitter Lake is for the plants and animals that are native to this part of the country.
We're there visiting the animals.
Yeah,
and,
we're
and
the
bird
fly on
and
the
the
wall
wildlife.
here.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, there's projects and things that take on in parts of Bitter Lake that generally the public doesn't get access to or have a chance to see. As a friend, you get to see some of those parts where some of the archaeological digs and some of the things that that they're studying, not only natural history but human history out there too. With some of our natives and their hunting grounds, and there's full of that history out there as well too. And so it is not technically just the study of plants and animals and preserving and studying their patterns. It's also our early human history here in this part of the country as well too.
That reserve was developed back in the when we had the big crash, the late 20s, early 30s.
Stock market crash.
Yeah, the stock market crash.
Yeah, when we had when you had the the Roosevelt era style New Deal type projects and things like that.
And they developed a work program under Roosevelt, and most of the people that did the work program came out there and built some of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those buildings out there
are as historical
as
the property itself. Yeah,
not the nature store. That's brand new.
Yeah, that was never New Deal era. That looks much more modern and got air conditioning.
Back about 2007.
Yeah,
around that.
Oh, they
period.
should tell people that they were from another planet though. These guys,
yeah,
came from.
There you go.
It fit right in with the Roswell thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I tell a lot of people things like that. Roswell, oh yeah, we have the aliens come in and help us. And,
they got the
special equipment.
Alien Corps of Engineers. They come in.
There you go.
We call them the ACEs, the ACEs, the Alien Corps of Engineers. They come in and do these things.
That's a good thought.
We can try it.
Yeah, we'll work that one out. We got Alien Fest coming up here.
That's right.
So
we can work it all in.
Yeah,
let's do it.
There you go.
But we would love if you'd love to learn more about becoming a member and being. Of course, if you already are a member, come join us for potluck tomorrow.
Right.
Out at Bitter Lake. What time is everything starting again?
Noon.
High noon out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Be there or don't get to eat. No.
Yeah.
We'll probably start with the food.
Yeah.
So
and then while you're out there, walk around and take a gander at some.
Yep.
I know it's going to be a little warm tomorrow, but you don't wander too far from the building, and then when you get in an AC, when you're ready to cool off a little bit.
If you're going to walk down the butterfly trail, get some bug repellent.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty bad right now.
The flies are, there's biting flies, and they just love human flesh.
Well, and with the dairy industry and everything so close by, it's just part of the deal here.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. We're a big dairy agricultural area, so
and with that comes flies.
That's right.
Where the cows are, the flies are not far behind.
My neighbor grows alfalfa, so
yeah. But come on out and Grace, this is a chance for you to. If you've never been a part of it before, I'm telling you, it is
a lot of fun.
It's an oasis in the desert. It
That's
literally
right.
is. It for folks that maybe are new or not familiar. The Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, as I was mentioning before, it's for the animals and plant life, but it's a migratory rest stop for so many of your migratory birds and other animals, insects that travel north to south each season to move the herd in one way, shape, or form. As I jokingly say, it's a pilot flying J. That's what, it's a rest stop where they come and rest and feed and do their hunting. Some, depending on the species, will start offspring here and get them ready for the journey, the next leg of the journey. That's all that's going on at Bitter Lake on a seasonal basis out there. And the beauty of Bitter Lake is you come out tomorrow, check it out. Come back for Dragonfly Festival in September.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a totally different look out there. It's just
we're looking forward to Dragonfly again this year.
Which, by the way, we're in full swing. I was honored. Thank you very much to be part of the selection for the Dragonfly Festival imagery and logo that you'll be seeing here shortly on the T-shirts and signs and everything. We had children from all over the district turn in. Dragonfly artwork and things, and we had some beautiful work, and we did pick one out. I don't think they've let the cat out the bag.
No,
but you will see it here shortly.
The prize has been delivered. Was it Washington Street? I think
the student that was from that school?
Yeah, the student. I think it was from Washington Street.
Well, they were
don't
amazing.
quote me on that because I'm not sure.
Okay. But it's been chosen, and you should see it on the flyers and the shirts and everything here pretty soon. Here,
and that winner got $125 out of it.
Yeah, and their artwork will be basically because it's now part of the Dragonfly lore. So you keep those each year. They're like collector's items.
Got little
each Dragonfly Festival's logos and signage and everything from each year is all part of that. So it's kind of the going into the annals of Bitter Lake history.
You got it. Yeah.
But congratulations, and I'm telling you, every single student did an amazing job. We were going through kick in, and it's a lot of fun, but it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard because you're like, that's good, and this is good, but it's good
Yeah,
for a different reason.
Which one's better? Yeah.
So it's really tough, but these kids did an amazing job.
I'm surprised at some of the kindergartners.
Yeah.
The
I have to
K1s.
lie. Because they do
were-
it by age group, and we look at the younger kids first, then the older kids, and to be honest, there's some of those that you could put kindergartners up with 4th and 5th graders, and you're like, I dare you to tell me who's the older kid here.
Yeah,
just based on
that's
these
right.
pictures and nothing else.
They are really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love seeing the kids do that. So
they do some
a lot
great
of fun.
stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a few, and you're like, oh, that's a kindergarten. You can tell.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. But
there are a few
that's
kids who are just like, wow, there's a God's gift on that one right
Yep.
there. There's
Watch
some,
this kid.
Yeah. God's hands are on this.
They're
this-
going
this-
to be the next Greg Burge.
That's those kids' talent right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
God bless this one. But tomorrow, 12 noon, high noon, out of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. It just get on east. What road is that?
Pine Lodge.
Get on Pine Lodge. Go east until you pretty much hit the end.
Yeah, you'll drive right in the gate.
Yeah.
Pine Lodge East in the gate.
Yeah, and it'll take
and
you right
it'll
there.
follow
to
you
it.
around. There's some signs that'll point off. You'll take a right turn into the nature store.
Yeah, come right in and then follow your nose. That's where you'll smell
Yep.
like chicken. Just follow,
Yeah, that's-
follow the chicken smells, and
There
that's
you
where the
go.
potluck will be. But and then of course while you're there, feel free to shop at
So-
the store.
yeah, shop at the
and,
store.
if you're looking for gift, Dad's Day is around the corner here. I bet there's a lot of books and things that Dad
yeah.
would like in the store there.
We get a lot on birds and insects and wildlife, other wildlife in the refuge area.
Absolutely.
You know.
So please come on out tomorrow. Now, that's tomorrow for lunch. We got lunch plans.
Yep.
If you get up early, we'll give you a chance to come check out our new American Legion Post 61 home.
Right.
Here in the last couple weeks, we made it official. We have a new home. It is on East 2nd, the old Toyo Tire building, which is right across from the farmers there on East
Farmers
2nd.
Market, yeah.
It don't look like much right now.
No.
But we will.
It's an old tire company.
We're going to put our stank on it, and then it's going to be American Legion Hall here very shortly. But tomorrow, to get the ball rolling, because we got funds
8
to
o'clock.
raise and everything else, we're having a yard sale beginning at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
On our new, which is, what's the actual address? It's something.
It's 605 East 2nd.
East 2nd. I knew it was-
That's
I
the
remember-
big building.
Yes.
Now, the office building, there's actually 2 buildings on the property.
Yeah.
There's a smaller building that's actually 603.
Just west of the
Yes.
the main building.
Right.
Yeah.
And
just-
that's technically 603.
Yeah.
That's going to be our office. That will be our mailing address.
And if I remember from our meeting last night, the yard sale will be on the west side of the old building there, where the big
Correct.
garage doors.
We're
are and all
actually
that.
going to open one of those garage doors
Excellent.
and set it
Okay.
up. Get a little shade.
I said
and-
old building, big building. That's what I meant. The west side
The
of the
big building,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're all old buildings.
They're all- yeah, that was built in the 30s.
Yeah, so they're a little historical.
Yeah.
Who knows what we might find as we start digging through the walls and everything.
That's right.
here. You never know.
Right there on the corner is a little tiny park, a few trees and a little bench and things. That's actually 601. Technically, that's part of the property.
Okay.
But the city has been kind of maintaining that somewhat as a little
So it's
park.
more of a public space. Then,
Yeah, it's a
even
little
though
public space.
Technically, the property is under our ownership.
Technically, yeah.
If you look at the surveyor's notes, that's where it's at.
Yeah. If you go down to the Alien Museum, that little park next to it, it's a similar idea.
I got you. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that back in the day, that used to be. What building was there? There
Yeah,
was a building.
There
there
was something there. but
Yeah,
that
and it was the
years
bail
ago.
bonds thing or something
Was
there.
that it?
Yeah, and I remember when it was, because there was a on that wall. And matter of fact, somewhere in my pictures, there's an alien. They had painted this ET and this alien thing, and then and he had like the finger sticking out. And I remember I got a picture of like me and other families touching the finger and all. It was on that building. That's no longer there. But yeah. and then
Oh,
they
that was that old ET.
Yeah, that was all right where the garden is now.
Yeah.
that building, and they tore it down, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, whenever that was. Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been because I
Yeah.
don't remember the building.
12 years ago. I don't remember. It was
Yeah.
a while ago. But yeah. But so similar to that situation.
Yep.
There. Yeah. But we're gonna have a yard sale full of clothing, furniture,
All kinds of things.
kinds of stuff, and we're gonna start. You get to sleep in on this one because this is 8 a.m. I know.
Yeah.
I see some of those yard sales start at 6, 7 in the morning. Ours will be at 8 a.m. And we'll be there till it gets too hot for us, or where all the
Probably
stuff's
around
going.
noon,
Yeah,
11:30, 12.
I know
exactly.
yard sale people, they do early. They're there. You know, the big rush will be in the 8, 9 o'clock hours,
Yep.
and it'll start petering out about 11 or so. You know, when people have other plans for the day at that point. That time you're going to get good and hungry. Just make your way to Bitter Lake and
join us for potluck and sign up as a member.
Yeah, come be a member and come learn exactly all the great stuff that is being a part of Bitter Lake. And of course, too, if you come out to the art sale and any veterans or families want to learn more about becoming a member of our Legion, commander and officers, I won't be there because I'm heading on the road tomorrow. But we'll have a bunch of our Legionnaires there and auxiliary members and sons to come and talk
if
with.
you're military association of some kind, I'm sure we've got a place for you in the Legion.
Yeah, and if you just want to support us and come out and shop, that'd be
Say
great
hi.
too, and help out, or want to make donations for poppies or any of that kind of stuff. We do have our state convention coming up here later this month.
Yep,
it's official now. It's this month, and you're in June, and so we are taking donations for that still, and as we'll have for folks not familiar, there, our American Legion post here in Roswell is hosting the New Mexico State Convention. So Legionnaires from all over the state of New Mexico are going to be in Roswell later this month to spend the weekend for convention meetings, and of course we'll be doing barbecues and a night out at the Liberty, and they're going to be taking over the bowling alley for a little bit and all those kind of things.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll be out and about. You'll see guys in our pointed hats with our pointy
those little boat hats.
Yes. And you see those, that's our Legionnaires. So come welcome them, come say hi and talk to them and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to help out financially with that, you can make donations tomorrow at our event there as well, or pay way too much for a shirt or something.
A shirt that somebody else has worn.
Exactly. That would be very appreciative. But all that money goes back into getting this building and getting our Post 61 family ready in our permanent home here.
We have a lot of work around Roswell that we are involved with, and this money that we collect, having a post of our own where we can gather and bring in people to help them out and provide an outlet for our other things.
And like, for instance, as we've talked about here a bunch of times on there, our Post 61 family, we are the current owners of Memory Lawn Cemetery.
Correct.
And so we are the stewards of it. We have our sextant. She does an amazing job of handling the daily business of Memory Lawn there. But the smaller building that's there on the property we were talking about, that's going to be the Memory Lawn offices at some point. When it's once we get it, we keep the records for Memory Lawn there. If you've got business to handle there, it'll be handled out of that office.
Right.
That's plans for that at some point. Of course, it'll also be a Legion office for Commander to do Commander things and all that.
And
stuff.
depending on how things, I need to find a general contractor yet.
Okay.
I have a couple of leads, but if there's a general contractor out there who would like to help us out,
sure.
Either at a reduced rate,
we are a nonprofit veterans. That's
or donate their services. Either way, we would really appreciate it.
Sure.
I have a couple of possibilities right now that I'm addressing. We're going to have that office building maybe within 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, we're hoping by mid to late summer here we'll have
an office.
We have a semblance of a start there.
Right.
It'll be a little bit longer before the Legion Hall
big
will
building.
be.
That's going to be a year.
Yeah, before we'll be ready to start doing events out of it. And things.
Right.
But we're but put it this way. The faster we can raise money, the quicker this stuff will happen.
That's right.
So supporting us at, say, the yard sale tomorrow, our banquets, donations, becoming Legionnaires, all these things do help push that needle a little closer.
Right. Yeah.
So please help out that way.
We are getting there.
Absolutely. And of course, for our American Legion posts, like I said, Memory Lawn's one of our tent poles. We have a scout troop we also support.
Right.
Veterans Day, along with the other veterans organizations here, we kind of very much a part of planning and operating and organizing our Veterans Day celebrations here.
Memorial Day.
We have a hand in those too. Plus, we work with the other veterans organizations, our other VFW, American Legion, and Travis County Veterans to help veterans passing through locally if they've got needs, in touch with veteran services or passing through town and a car breaks down, they need repair or a hotel or something.
Yep,
we'll
help them out.
We're always
we
part
do
of that
what
group
I can.
to do that.
Yep.
That's part of our mission that we do.
We have Flag Day coming up.
Yes.
And the day before, the day Flag Day, the 14th, we're going to be changing the flags out at Memory Lawn.
Yeah, they're getting a little weathered,
a little tattered.
and it is time.
So we got
for us
new
to
flags
replace
to
them.
put up there.
So Don and we figured, what better day than Flag Day?
That's
It's
right.
Coming up,
we
and
do it
we'll
on Flag Day. The next day, we're going to have a little get together also.
Yeah, a flag retirement ceremony.
Flag retirement
In our
at
new
the post.
At our new digs there on East 2nd.
So tomorrow, if you're going to be at the yard sale and you have an old flag,
bring it with you.
That needs to be retired, bring it to us.
Absolutely.
And we will retire it on the 15th.
The proper way as according to flag code. We'll do it.
Right.
And now we don't have a fancy burn pit yet, but we'll get there. We got something in the meantime.
We do have a temporary. We do have a temporary.
But we will. And again, that's part of the long-term plans here is to have a pit there on site to do flag retirement ceremonies and things like that. That's part of the plans for the future of that facility.
And hopefully we will have our flag retirements each year right around Flag Day sometime.
Sure. Yeah.
Close to that.
As needed there, depending on the amounts. And big thank you every time we do this to the fire department and the city and everyone that works with us making sure we don't burn the place down, but
I got insurance on it, but let's not force that.
Right, not there yet.
Yeah.
We still got hope here. Hold on. We'll let you know if the construction don't go so good if we need to light a match or not.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Hey, it might be a good. We got to demo all of that stuff.
Yeah.
We might just light it and burn it. And,
That's right.
the framework's metal, so
yeah. Sure, the neighbors won't mind.
Yeah. What the heck?
That's one way to welcome us to the neighborhood.
There you go. Oh, they're at it again, aren't they? Oh boy.
Knew those veterans would be a problem.
I know. The Legion's here.
But thank you to everyone that's been supporting us, and we appreciate everyone that continues to do. And if you want to get more involved, please come see us tomorrow. Come out to the yard sale tomorrow. Like so, we're going to start at 8 a.m. Come visit, come shop, and then of course, if you want to talk Legion or get more involved, we would love to have you do that. And like you said, bring your flags if they need to be retired. We will be retiring them here later this month on the 14th,
Correct.
15th there. So.
And we'll hear more about that on the actual date and times for that, too.
Absolutely. But high noon out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge for the potluck membership luncheon. And then 8 a.m. Tomorrow morning on East 2nd for the American Legion Post 61.
Correct.
Inaugural yard sale.
There you
at
go.
New Digs there. Where the first of many future activities to be had there.
And I'd like to I want to put a shout out to Job Corps.
Okay.
Job Corps has agreed to provide some of the labor.
Oh, excellent.
For this renovation program. So I really thank them for.
I love that because it's a win-win for everybody.
It is.
These students are learning skills and
right.
learning the trade, so to speak, and we get cheap and reduced cost services.
There you go.
Which we need those.
Yep, it's an educational thing for them because they're going to get to see how to take it down and how to put it back up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they do amazing. Job Corps is an amazing organization that does that. Because not everybody learns the same way. You know what I mean? Not everybody thrives in that. And Job Corps has a way of finding that what resonates with people and how to do it, and then train them that way. And,
That's right.
And it gives them discernible skills that they can translate to actual paying jobs when they graduate from the program.
You got it.
And whether it's carpentry or construction or culinary or what are the other, there's several different areas they go into. But
it's amazing. We get so many people that say, "Oh, I got to get my 4-year degree. I got to get my master's. I got to get my PhD," and they spend all that money going to school. And yet, here's the guy that goes into trade, some kind of a trade school, gets out there and starts working, and builds his way up, and he makes more money than a PhD.
Absolutely.
So
education is important, and lawyers and we need those folks.
We do need them.
But
God bless them.
roswelltalkfm.com or to our Facebook page and check out the rest of that interview. Coming up next hour, we're going to be chit-chatting with Brian Luck, the superintendent of the Roswell Independent School District. Hopefully we'll have a great conversation with him all about the summertime activities that are happening with the school board. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Townhall.com, I'm Jeremy House. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the war in Gaza will go on after Hamas proposed numerous changes to a U.S.-backed ceasefire plan. Blinken says some of the changes were workable, but several others were not. Inflation in the United States eased last month, and a sign that a pickup in prices that occurred early this year may have passed.
The trend, if it holds, could move the Federal Reserve closer to cutting its benchmark interest rate from its 23-year peak. Consumer prices, excluding volatile food and energy costs, the closely watched core index, rose 0.2% from April to May. That was down from 0.3% the previous month and was the smallest increase since October.
Correspondent Bernie Bennett reporting. The pro-business organization Job Creators Network today is releasing the 100th episode of its Main Street Matters podcast. It features a rare interview with Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus. At age 94, he's still bullish on America as an incubator for new jobs and says over the years he's held dozens of them.
There's nothing I didn't do. I put up pins in bowling alleys. I cleaned toilets. I was a waiter. I worked in the circus. I can't think of anything I didn't do. All of those things I did, I found to be fascinating and became part of my character.
Bernie Marcus calls today's 100th episode of the podcast a megaphone for small businesses. His full Main Street Matters interview is being released today by the Salem Podcast Network. A fleet of Russian warships and aircraft have begun entering the Caribbean in what some see as a projection of strength as tensions grow over Western support for Ukraine. On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead nearly 266 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Everybody wants cheap
Atlanta
airfare,
Police
but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines.
A career criminal who hijacked a public bus and took it for a wild ride on a busy Atlanta highway.
The police chief here in Atlanta says the suspect, Joseph Greer, was riding on the bus and then shot a man before pointing the gun at the driver and hijacking the bus with 17 people on board.
Mr. Greer is a convicted felon. 19 prior arrest cycles that appear to be armed with a handgun. They use that handgun on citizens on the bus behind us.
The 39-year-old now facing more than 24 charges. Laura Winters, Atlanta.
At least 41 people have died as a fire swept through a building that housed workers in Kuwait. Officials say the blaze early today appeared to be linked to code violations. Local media report Kuwait's interior minister confirmed the toll and ordered the arrest of the building's owner. News and analysis at townhall.com. Russian attacks on Ukraine's power grid are forcing the government to institute nationwide rolling blackouts.
Sustained Russian attacks on Ukraine's power grid in recent weeks have forced the government to institute nationwide rolling blackouts. In the capital, Kyiv, generators litter the streets, buzzing loudly as businesses and residents try to continue their normal lives despite the power outages. Alexander Solovey, owner of the coffee shop Info Mata hiker says the rolling blackouts are impacting customer numbers and his bottom line. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky appealed for short-term help.
That's correspondent Charles de Ledesma reporting. French President Emmanuel Macron has called for moderate politicians from the left and the right to regroup to defeat the Conservative Party in upcoming legislative elections. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Why I'm talking like that? 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of a morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday morning. All right, nobody panic, okay? I can't find my pen. This is a serious emergency. I need something to I just need a thing. All right, fine. I'm going to hold this marker. I'm a fidget. I can't help it. Oh, thank you. Jocelyn coming in clutch right there. All right, I'll get it back to you. I think I just took it in the other room. But I can't. It's like Linus with the blanket. I see Mike reach for the pin right before he goes, from this position, and I'm like, I mean, I get fidgets. I get needing something to do with my hands, but that pin, I'm telling you what, man, it is an essential tool of the broadcasting industry. And a happy Wednesday to you. Another morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Hump Day. Happy, Lunes, Martes, Miércoles? Yeah, happy Miércoles to you. Gosh, I really suck in Spanish. I need to get on that Duolingo is what I need to do. I hear it's very effective. I'll probably end up using it just to learn like Pig Latin or Pirate or something stupid. But I digress. Mixmaster Mike Winter is off sailing the seven seas, enjoying himself. As I understand it, we should, maybe before they return from their trip, but definitely by the time the trip is done, have photographic evidence of Mike Winters for the first time in maybe a decade, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years, in ice skates on the open ice while on the open sea. What a concept. But yeah, Mike and Kim off enjoying their vacation. He'll be back inside our radios this coming Tuesday morning. So you got me in the meantime. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. You know, there are some mornings, and I understand that the internet is a very odd place. You never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like a box of chocolates. Thank you, Forrest Gump. But you never know what you're going to get when you first open up a social media app. I'm not big on X. I'm not big on Twitter or whatever you want to call it. I am one of those old people that uses Facebook still. So you open up Facebook, and every now and again, Facebook likes to be a naughty little buddy where he likes to recommend friends that maybe, this is my buddy. Maybe he could be your buddy too. And it's always these odd pages. Today it was archaeological, astonishing archaeology or something to that effect. Now, this is the story that I stumbled upon. Now, the picture is worth 1,000 words, and I will show you the picture momentarily. But this is the explanation, the caption that I stumbled upon. This is the largest fossilized human feces ever found. It belonged to a sick Viking in the 9th century AD and has been valued at $39,000. The large precious feces, officially known as the Lloyd's Bank coprolite, is the word coprolite simply meaning fossilized manure. This 1,200-year-old log that is thought to be the largest in recorded human history. At 8 inches long and 2 inches wide, the specimen was discovered in York, northwest England in 1972 by construction workers during the building of Lloyd's TSB branch in an area once ruled by Norse warriors. It takes its name from the institution Lloyd's Bank. Now, this huge turd had another red letter moment back in 1991 when scientist Dr. Andrew Jones appraised the piece in the name of insurance. And this is the quote: "This is the most exciting piece of excrement I've ever seen." Now, I know you're curious because it's from a 9th century Viking, okay? You got to imagine they had a very meat-heavy diet. Probably not a lot of leafy greens in this diet. But I'm going to show this to the camera. Hopefully I can get a good shot here of it. If not, I'm going to post it up over on the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. There we go. That is the largest piece of human fecal matter ever fossilized and set for insurance at $39,000. There are a couple of things. Now, again, I'm going to post this up over on the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page so you guys can talk amongst yourselves about this giant thing. If you'll notice, at the very top of the photo, it's not even a clean break, man. There's like more activity. So I'm just saying, we're talking about somebody who wasn't even fully finished processing, if you will. Now, if you do want to check out this gigantic hunkadookie, you can do that. It's actually closer to home than you might think. They recently opened a museum in Arizona dedicated to coprolite. Now, most of the coprolite pieces, if you will, inside of the museum are dinosaur poo, but there's a lot of other poo, including this very rare and very, very expensive hunkadookie from a 9th century Norse Viking. And that's what I was greeted with this Wednesday morning when I ventured into the world of the internet. It's one of those situations where you just say, well, I think that's about enough of that internet for today. Just going to pack this thing in. 12 minutes after 8 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. Coming up, we're going to be chit-chatting with Brian Luck, the Roswell Independent School District Superintendent, and we'll be chit-chatting with him about what's happening as we are smack dab in the middle of the summertime season. The school board, obviously, they don't take breaks. So we'll get into what they've been up to, gearing up for the 2024-2025 school year and what they have planned for you. More on that coming up in just a bit on this Wednesday morning. Plus, we'll have your Lou Dobbs business report, Travis County sports report, and anything else that comes your way on this Wednesday. 13 minutes after 8 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like the heat will hang around through the upcoming weekend. Right around the 100-degree mark for us today. We'll have sunshine, and then tonight clear, dropping to the low 70s. About 105 to 106 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and sunny. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, but it will stay hot, and we'll get some sunshine going up to about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
13 minutes after 8 o'clock, currently 74 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is at about 67%. Winds out of the south at around 9 miles an hour. Barometer at 30.11 inches with a dew point of 62 degrees. Just to let you know, we are under a heat advisory, and we will continue to be under said heat advisory every day for the foreseeable future. Isolated sprinkles after 3 p.m., otherwise sunny and hot. It's a high of around 101. Isolated sprinkles, I'm pretty sure, was John Wayne Gacy's act name. Anyways, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mostly clear for tonight with a low of around 69 degrees. Nice. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunny and hot with a high of 107 degrees for your Thursday. Yuck. That's just yuck. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. Stuff's going to stick to stuff. That's all I'm saying. Mostly clear, 74 for the overnight low on Thursday night. Slight chance of showers between noon and 3, and then a chance of thunderstorms after 3. 20% chance of those, but otherwise 100 for the high. Winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. 40% chance of the wet stuff for your Friday night. Showers and thunderstorms before midnight. Partly cloudy and low of around 68 degrees. Almost nice. Saturday, sunny and hot, 100. 105 for your Sunday. And for Monday, 105, 103 for the high on Tuesday. Little programming note. I said it was going to be Mr. Brian Luck. It's actually Coach Art Sandoval, vice principal, and of course, one of the people in the Need to Know group. So we'll sit down and chit chat with him about what summertime's been like, how the experience has been, and how quickly we're going to get started back with 2-a-days and all that fun stuff. Talk a little bit about absenteeism and some other fun stuff coming up here in just a few minutes on this Wednesday morning. We're going to improvise. 15 minutes after 8 o'clock, let us pause, get you pay some bills, and then we'll sit down and chit-chat with Art Sandoval after these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $1,515 per thousand financed on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Check out some of Dad's favorites on sale this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select 12 packs of Food Club soda are 3 for $12, and bottles of Food Club ketchup are 98 cents each. In produce, red cherries are $1.99 a pound, and juicy mangoes are 2 for $1. In the meat department, family packs of boneless beef arm steak are $3.99 a pound, and family packs of baby back pork ribs are $2.99 a pound. These are just some of Dad's favorites on sale this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Yes, cannabis is legal in New Mexico. No, there are helpful rules to keep you safe. For instance, yes, you should only buy from a licensed dispensary. Know that if you don't, yours might contain harmful substances. And yes, cannabis slows reaction time. So, know that you should never drive high. Know your yeses and nos about all things cannabis. From the State of New Mexico Cannabis Control Division. Go to yesandnosnm.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, "No, I'm growing like a bamboo." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio on this Wednesday morning, the man who's filling in for Brian Luck, Coach Art Sandoval from the Roswell Independent School District. How are you doing today, Coach?
Good, Sean. How are you, sir?
Oh, doing good. It's been a hectic week. While Mike's off enjoying rum drinks on the 7 Seas, I'm manning the helm of 2 radio stations. So
yeah,
it's been fun, but plates are still spinning.
Absolutely, you know. So, well, good morning to you, and glad to be here. Brian, superintendent of the Roswell Independent School District, is actually in Santa Fe, and so this is kind of one of the last minute things that asked to fill in for him, and I was happy to do so, and so we'll see what we can do to get this rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to necessarily. We could talk about, because your perspective is a little different. I mean, you're the vice principal. You've overseen a lot more of the student interaction side of things. So
sure.
Your perspective's a little different. Now we're obviously smack dab in the middle of the summertime season, but a big hot button issue with a lot of parents was we're starting August 1st this year.
Yeah,
that's pretty doggone quick.
Yeah, no, it really is, pretty quick. But the requirements, from the state of New Mexico is that they're requiring us to have more days, and I'm to the point of my perspective here is I'm to the point where I'm kind of leaning towards year-round school. I think that we might be more beneficial when it comes down to certain things like that. But I think eventually it's going to end up coming down to that situation. But just like right now, we're in the process of summer school. This is the second week already, and we have right about 12 days to take care of that stuff, and so we started enrollment with our counselors, and our counselors, not just at Roswell High School, but our counselors in the district they just do a really good job, and trying to get our kids enrolled in the classes that they need, and one of the things that we kind of do here at Roswell High School is we have a thing called Apex, and so does Goddard and the Roswell Independent School District, but we also have a thing called New Hope.
Okay.
And it's kind of that's when Pilar Carrasco was back as the principal, and he's done a good job with this and gave us new ideas, and that big old word, that C word, COVID, kind of gave us a way of thinking outside the box, and so in order to try to improve, first and foremost help the kids be successful and improve graduation rates, try to get all that stuff taken care of, we actually have a thing called New Hope, and so what that entails is the New Hope is if a student has, for example, I'll use Sean. If Sean failed the class, Algebra 1, for example, what that is...
That tracks.
Our counselors, as I mentioned, do a good job, but, it's a lot of work. And I'm going to tell you that what they do is if they have a 50% or less than a 60%, like 59 or below to a 50%, then a kid is enrolled in the program, what is called New Hope. Okay. And so what happens with that is if you have a 50%, you have to have 10 days of summer school in order to obtain that credit. So in other words, you have to come 10 days and you have to participate and do the assignments in order to be successful and to gain that credit.
Okay.
So a point a day, if you had a 58%, then you come to class
2 days.
The 2 days, but you still have to participate and still not be a discipline problem.
Right.
So those are some of the things.
I actually kind of dig that as a program. I have a friend's daughter who she was looking at graduating, and again, she was one of the COVID classes, and it was real hard on all of them, but they eventually switched to a homeschool model, and the last 3 months were basically her just locked in a room completing assignments because she was 68 assignments behind.
Right.
It's one of those things when it was put in the kids' laps, the onus was on them to do their assignments. A lot of them just kind of let them pile up, and well, the back end is what where you pay for it. But I like the fact that we're kind of instituting summer school as come on a couple of days, we'll bump it up a couple percentages and get you the grade that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's a lot more complex than what it sounds.
Sure.
There's some rigorous stuff that some of the kids have to participate in and get those assignments done. Currently, I know at Roswell High School we have 10 instructors, and not only is it the New Hope program that was that we're trying, but it's also the program called Apex. Okay, and Apex, the Roswell Independent School District, is actually utilizing that program, and so it's a computer based. And so, we have to enroll the kids into the Apex program, and it's really a lot of work, not just for the counselors, but for the administrators.
Sure.
And then once you get all that in, so it's currently about less than 200 in summer school right now. But again, we've had some already drop out. I think it was less than 30. For whatever reason it was one of those things where you can't miss a day for whatever the reason is. You can't be tardy. This is a privilege for you to come and do summer school. And once again, it's for free.
Yeah.
And so, back in the day when America was America, you charged $80 to $100 per class. And, this is a chance for a student to obtain that credit. And, again, that program, you can work in the classroom. They're assigned to a certain teacher. And then at that point, they get in their Chromebooks and they work on specific assignments such as Algebra 1, Algebra 2, chemistry, or whatever that might be.
Right.
And so that's a real good program. And once they complete the program, then, they can actually stop at a 60% or they can go as far as they need to for that specific class. Now,
so if they wanted to bump their grade up even a couple of grade levels, they could just continue the summer school program.
So as far as New Hope, now Apex, New Hope is a 60%. That's as far as they can actually go. But as far as the Apex courses, then they can improve their grade, because it's really a semester course is what they're taking. So they'll have to they can get anywhere from a 60 or above to make that part of their credit recovery classes.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
That's because obviously we're with GPAs and everything being vital to college admissions and a lot more focus has been put on that lately, because now that we're dropping off a lot of the admissions to certain schools based on race and based on things like that. There's a lot more attention being put on how's your grades, how are your extracurriculars, are you keeping up with all this stuff? So
absolutely,
kids are hard at work getting those numbers up. So that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Go ahead.
So let's talk sports, because I mean obviously you're the man, the voice of choice in southeastern Mexico when it comes to the sports here on KSVP TV.com and of course across all of our Pecos Valley broadcasting stations. How are the prospects for this coming season?
As far as Roswell High School, I think it's good. And great question. I'm glad you brought that up. So one of the things that we do within Roswell Independent School District, and specifically, at Roswell High School, what we do is, we have spring sports going on right now. So we try to designate 2 months, June and July. So because we have at Roswell High, we would love to share athletes. I think it's important that we share athletes for the betterment of all programs. And so what we do is, spring sports such as baseball and softball, as you know, I start end of January, early February, and then all of a sudden it's March. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's April, and then the state playoffs come around. And so once that is complete, in my opinion, my perspective is that, a lot of people start getting their skills up to date right now. They're ready to go, Sure. And so what happens is we still want them to go ahead and participate. So in the month of June, we have baseball with, Coach Lujan and Rebecca Marujo doing softball. And then, of course, basketball, boys and girls with Dude Barola and, of course, Dr. Dan Smith or Coach Smith doing the month of June for basketball and for baseball and softball. And then, of course, in the month of July, what we do is then we start doing volleyball and then soccer and, the cross-country stuff. Now, I'm sure the question is going to be asked about football here in just a moment. Now, they're going to start next week. And now, with that being said, football is such a high revenue sport. And so it's going to take a little bit more conditioning to get the strength and conditioning, for their necks and their backs and trying to get that. It's really going to be more weights and conditioning more than anything. And
Absolutely. So a lot of time in the gym where the air conditioner is,
yes,
that's going to be vital. Right. A lot of hydration, kids. This is going to be a brutal summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, and I was a band kid.
Right.
So our 2-a-days were band camp, and our band camp stories. I just remember putting a 30-pound tuba on, going out to the marching field,
sure,
in 108-degree weather. I'm like, you guys are trying to kill us, and all they cared about was how high our toes were. It's ridiculous. But so 2 days starting next week.
Not 2 days.
Okay, just training.
Just going to start with
weight training,
and conditioning. So. Now, one of the things that you probably understand this, but if the community does not understand, once you get to 104, heat index, then we can't do any activity, outside activity. Right. You can do some weights inside and stuff like that, but we got to be real cautious about that. Make sure we're hydrating and doing everything we can to make sure that we're staying in compliance and making sure, most importantly, that we're taking precautions. And making sure that all athletes are safe.
Absolutely,
yeah.
and that's the most important thing is that we want these athletes to perform at their peak performance, but they have to be healthy. They have to be hydrated. That's all these things are absolutely vital. So it sounds like you guys are hard at work and split off into so many different subsections. It's kind of crazy how the tentacles of the octopus work in the sports world.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, sir. So speaking, let's get away from sports for just a minute.
Sure.
I want to really talk about something that I think it's a district thing that it might be really important that we communicate with is, I think the district in a whole really wants to improve our, of course, graduation rates. But at the same time, most importantly, I think the district and the state of New Mexico are really trying to focus on absenteeism. And I think that's something that we really need to, try to focus and try to get maybe, some of our stakeholders involved and try to see what we can do to, increase our graduation rates, but most importantly, our attendance.
Absolutely. And that's, I think that when you look at COVID, a lot of interesting things came out of it. A lot of good came out of it. A lot of bad came out of it. One of the funnier comments I've actually heard is somebody said, basically COVID ruined snow days for kids. Because now you just do school from home. So no more snow days. But it also kind of gave kids a lot more leeway with, well, I could just do a couple of assignments a day and call it good. And it sort of loosened the belt a little bit.
Right.
And I think that maybe now it's kind of time to start tightening it a little bit back.
Yeah, and, that's a great great comment right there. And that's something that we do have to start, tighten the ropes a little bit. And, and I was, a lot of people might think I'm crazy by saying going to year-round school, but, Las Cruces school district's already doing it. Some Albuquerque schools are already doing it. And it's just a matter of time when, my opinion, that eventually, the Roswell Independent School District could eventually go to that.
Sure.
And I think it might be good. But, one of the things with the absenteeism is that, you use the word COVID again. And, we got to kind of get away from that and start saying, hey, listen, this is something that we really want to, get away from. And we're going to hold kids accountable. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But, one of the things, Sean, and you understand this, you do radio all the time, but one of the things that we have to, start being real careful with is we got to get down to the root cause of why kids are either tardy or being absent, whatever it is. Because, sometimes, I'm going to be real honest with you, sometimes it's not their fault.
Right.
And we got to be real careful.
Yeah.
It could be, we don't know what they did the night before. We don't know. I deal with kids on a daily basis. I deal with situations with, kids' parents coming in for whatever reason is, and I don't want to say excuses. I'm not saying that because parents are a vital part of this organization as well, too. And 100%. One of the things that we have to be careful with is we don't know what parents are going through either.
Right.
So, a lot of the times, I hear this all the time with teachers. Well, how come you didn't suspend John Doe? How come you're doing this? Why? Well, let me tell you why. Because when we're investigating and we're trying to figure out why we're doing the things that we're doing, some of these teachers, and they're on a need-to-know basis. And there's a lot of things we got to be careful with as far as HIPAA and FERPA. And we, not that I would love to tell them, but I think teachers in general really need to make sure that they're trusting us to make the right decisions.
I think so often it becomes teacher versus parent, or more specifically parent versus teacher, and they feel like they have to stand up for their kids. One of the best experiences I've ever had with the education system is with my daughter, because with Rhiannon, we had her in a program where she was getting regular IEPs. She attended Del Norte. They have a specialized classroom. We're actually transitioning her into Sierra, which has a similar setup with the concurrent classrooms. Her teachers and her team, we've always worked side by side. It's vital. It is vital for parents to work with the teachers, to work with their counselors. For the student to succeed, everybody has to work together.
Oh, you're exactly right.
And it's this combative nature that parents seem to always have against their kid's teacher. It's if we come together, we can come up with a lot more solutions to the problem.
Yeah. So, another thing that I would like to mention about the absenteeism is this. A lot of teachers may or may not understand, because you can't suspend for absenteeism. You can't do it. Now, you can drop a kid at 10 days, okay, but the gist of it is on the 11th day, if they want to come back, we enroll. And so, there's state statute, it's called the Attendance for Success Act. And so, it's that 22-12-2, it's that ordinance, or not the ordinance, but the state code that, talks about that Attendance Act.
Sure.
And so, if a kid wants to come back to school, then we're gonna take that kid,
Now it's 10 absences.
So it's 10. Great. I'm glad you caught that. It's 10 consecutive absences.
Consecutive. That was my next.
It's 10 consecutive absences.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's definitely a significant amount of time, especially if it's unexcused. If you have a family emergency, if you're taken out of town, that's completely understandable.
Right.
Call the students in.
Right.
That being said, I understand there's a lot of students that have to get processed. Sometimes, like for example, I would when I needed to call Rhiannon into Del Norte, I would then get the robocall at 9 a.m. saying your student was marked absent, and I would then call the school and say, oh, it was just a mistake. The robocall goes out before we get to the attendance. So it's another one of those things where it's a simple misunderstanding. Parents, if you just call the school, talk to the folks up there, they can clear a lot of that stuff up for you.
Yeah,
it
really is, and that's exactly right. Just a simple phone call. Come in, give us a visit, and if they're excused, then that's all that matters. again, we don't know what happened the night before with some of these kids, and simple conversation and communication with the instructors and or the administrators, or even with our school resource officers. They're a great resource for us to communicate, and so that's something that we really utilize a lot with our school district.
Absolutely.
And back in the day, we used to have, and we still do this to a point, and I think it needs to improve, in my opinion. But we used to, Judge Freddie Romero we used to have the thing called the teen court. And that was at first very, very successful, and Judge Romero was awesome. He did such a fantastic job with that, and he volunteered his time, and we kind of got away from that because some of the parents and students, and I don't want to say manipulated, but they caught on, and they understood that there was not really, it's real hard to actually prosecute anybody for attendance these days.
Sure.
And so, we do still do the 3 and the 5 day letters, and we try to do everything we can. I know at our school, what we try to do is there's not a specific administrators designated for attendance anymore. What we try to do over there is we try to have an attendance clerk with, Miss Aguilar, who does a fantastic job. It's a full-time job. And, I'm probably going to say the same thing for all traditional high schools, including university and early college. I think they do a great job with that as well. But we have to make that attempt.
Right.
We have to make that attempt to say, listen, we tried to get Sean here at school on day 3. We try to get him here on day 5 and day 7. And then what we usually do is if we find out that we have to communicate with either, somebody higher or, law enforcement to, do a welfare check or CYFD or do something of that sort,
Sure.
then we can do that. But again,
if you're not hearing from a student within 10 days, something wrong.
Right.
That's when that needs to be investigated.
That's exactly right. And so when we turn that information in, then it goes to like a CYFD referral, and they can conduct their investigation. And if they can get them back in school, that's all we really want here in the district, in my opinion. And, like I said, if a kid's not in school, they can't learn.
Exactly.
And if you can't learn, then guess what? We're not doing our job as educators. And that's something that we really need to focus on. And we really need to do, in my opinion, a better job of trying to get people here. Now, the resources, there's law enforcement that can only do so much. They can't, I guess they could, but it's real hard because they're law enforcement officers. They can't just go and knock on a door and say, you know what, let's drag you out. They can't do that.
And hands are tied, also with situations involving minors. There's a lot of ropes you have to navigate through.
Yeah, absolutely. And so,
but yeah, so absolutely, measures are being put in place or are in place to get attendance up. But parents, this is one of those situations where just communicate with the school. Let them know if there's a situation going on at home. The school's not here to drop down an iron fist on you. They just want your kids in school so that we can fill their brains with knowledge and get them started off on the right foot.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I do have a few notes here that like I said, I'm not too proficient with, but
Sure.
I think some of the direction of the district. I think the district, as we mentioned, we need community help in reducing the chronic absenteeism, as we talked about. It's not just here in Roswell or the state of New Mexico, it's nationwide, but we really need to do a better job of that. Also, the district is also developing projects in which students can gain real life experience and earn graduation credits. I'm learning about that a little bit more. I think it's a great idea, working on developing evening classes for credit recovery. So again, that's going to be, we talked about the Apex classes. That is my understanding as of right now, that's how the district is going to lean forward to going to the night classes.
Okay.
Because, again, sometimes school is not for everybody. And I can talk all day, as you know, Sean, but one of the things is this, and you start talking about CTE programs and you start doing different things with that sort. But, as far as developing the classes for credit, I think that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, it's my understanding that the districts they're developing student internships, which are connected to the 30-plus career pathways that the district has, including industries, businesses that are interested in student interns. If they have any questions about that, they need to be contacting, Mr. Luck's office and, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction. You can talk to Jennifer Cole, Brian Luck. Anybody over there at that central location, I think, is something that that if you have any questions, go ahead and talk with them over there. And that's something that's great.
And that's a great program, too, because,
Yep.
it instills work ethic in the kids. It lets them know kind of, what's out there as far as like opportunities and, chances to advance. And it gets your foot in the door with a lot of great people, a lot of great industries. So
Yeah, absolutely. So
that's fantastic. So if folks, want more information, if they heard something interesting in this conversation, or, they need to know more about absenteeism, How do they reach out to you?
So the best source is, I think you need to be specific with the school. If they have any kind of questions about absenteeism or, any questions about, credits or anything like that, go to the specific school. Go to, if you have a question about Roswell High School, go to that school first. Go to, get down to the root cause so we can figure out how to approach this before we go, and try to, a lot of people, if they have a complaint, they want to go straight to the superintendent or go straight to the athletic director. Well, again, there's a chain of command. And so I think, if anything, you got to start from the bottom. And, one of the things that you need to do is start at that school. If it's Roswell, if it's Goddard, University High, early college, Mesa Middle School, whatever it might be. Start with that school, talk with that administrator, and, maybe come up with a plan. That way we can try to, develop, because they might have a legit, reason why they're being absent. I mean, there could be an illness. There could be somebody on an IEP. There might be, students with disabilities. There might be something that we can work with. Sure. And so start out with the school. If we can't answer it, then, of course, then you can start at the next level. And, you're more than welcome to always call central office. That's not the problem at all. But I think one of the best things you possibly could do is do it the right way and start out with the school district.
Absolutely. And I will say this, if you're taking the proactive steps to find out how to fix the problem, you're already doing a better job than a lot of, parents out there who just complain.
Right.
So if you're taking these proactive steps, they're going to meet you. Your effort will be met. The school will help you. The school will work with you. And just from my own perspective, I've talked to so many parents that, complain and whine and moan about how bad their experience is with their teachers or with their, their team or whatever. And I've never had a bad experience. I've had nothing but positive experiences working with my daughter's teachers, with her team, with Miss Robin. It was always a seamless process. So the best way to make sure your student succeeds is to be involved as a parent. That's really all it comes down to.
No, absolutely. I think, as a parent, you always have to be involved. And it doesn't start just in elementary school. It goes from this point forward, even in college.
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? You really got to do some, be a parent that's going to be supportive and do everything you possibly can. And
I'm trying, man. And we messed up because we got one going straight into middle school. And we got one going right into elementary school. So they're like bridging over the River Kwai or whatever. But it's it's definitely one of those, you have to be, it's a full-time job. You have to be involved. You have to pay attention. Talk to the teachers. I text my daughter's teacher on the regular if she has a bad day or, is missing an assignment. These things need to be communicated.
Sure.
Simple as that. So
absolutely.
Get involved, parents. That's what's going to, help the whole process.
Yep, absolutely. So,
well, thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. I know you got interviews to get to and whatnot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a full day ahead of us over at Roswell High School. And, of course, the Roswell Independent School District are doing the same thing all over the district. And, whatever we can do to help. If they have any questions, once again, just talk to, your prospective school, whatever it is, elementary, middle school, high school. And if there's anything that we can't do, you're more welcome to reach out to central location and communicate with the uppers.
Yes. 637-3305, if I'm not mistaken.
637-2500.
2500
is the school district.
Now,
yes, sir.
I do want to let you know, just as a side note.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is everybody, but when I get a robocall from the school, it comes up as a spam risk.
Okay.
Just want to throw that out there. I'm not sure if there's anything anybody can do about that, but I'm like, and then I recognize the number. I'm like, okay.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. I don't know. I didn't know that. And so, maybe for the people that are listening out there, and even if Mr. Luck, I know he's in Santa Fe, and once he listens to this, I'm sure we can give him the notes on that as well. But I'm glad you said that. We can try to work on that. One thing that I've also wanted, before we close on this, is, the Power School, that every kid and parent had that opportunity to see what we see on our end. So if you as a parent, and you might have this already, Sean, if not, then I highly suggest you get this for your kids. You can go to your school and, talk to, the front office, and you can get a Power School access. And then that way you can find out exactly what your students' grades, your attendance, any, discipline issues, or any of that sort there too. I think it's important that you try to get that. And I encourage the public, I encourage everybody possible to get that. Of course, you have to be the legal guardian.
Sure.
And making sure that you, get that access there. But you can get on your cell phone. You can look at your grades. You can look at the attendance and say, well, hold on just a minute. One of the things too, and they're talking about, well, there's a kid that might have 100 cumulative absences, and a lot of people don't understand what that means. It's when you have an 8-period day or a 4-period day, which is an 8B block, then you have, like, if you're absent one day, then the full day, then you have 4 absences.
Right.
So then it accumulates, and so a lot of parents don't understand that. So if they have questions about that, they need to let us know. Right. But once again, I think that's something that I try to encourage every parent with that as well. So.
Block scheduling still. Man, that was the bane of my existence in
block
in
or
high
AB,
school.
yeah.
I will say
else,
this.
so.
I always loved having B lunch because you can go have seconds. That was my favorite part. Because they had to get rid of the food after B lunch. So you get seconds.
So.
I mean, it made me the man I am today.
Sure.
So there you go, folks. Parents, reach out if you have any questions. Central office, they can answer any questions. Obviously, once the schools kind of get back underway in session, you can get a hold of the school system and find out more information that way. Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Appreciate
Sean.
having you here.
Have a great day.
Absolutely, you too.
Thank you.
16 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. A Colorado teenager who had been reported as missing back in May is reportedly safe here in Artesia and living with her father. Artesia police said they have found 15-year-old Giselle Lujan and that she is not considered missing at this time. The department further said it had received legal paperwork granting immediate custody of the child to her father, Robert Lujan. The temporary order signed by a judge. The sheriff in Eagle County, Colorado, reported he had not seen the legal papers and has since closed the case. As fire danger continues to rise in southeast New Mexico, Carlsbad Caverns is announcing the immediate implementation of preventative measures. The measures include a prohibition on fire, charcoal, and propane grills in the park, a ban on smoking cigarettes except inside personal vehicles, and open flames and cooking stoves are prohibited in the backcountry. The increased fire danger is, of course, due to the hot, dry, and windy conditions and extremely dry and brittle vegetation that could cause even the smallest spark to ignite into a large blaze very quickly. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
Speak for yourself. 14 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with your Chavez County Sports Report.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The all-state softball teams have been selected, and Dexter has a boatload of players who were selected. 7, in fact. Here's your first-teamers. Chloe Mills, a senior at first base for the Demons. Daniela Munoz, only a freshman, was selected first team in the infield, and she was also picked as a second-team pitcher for Class 3A. Alexa Miramontes, a junior, was picked first team in the outfield, and J.C. Sanders was picked first team as a designated player. Yolanda Mendoza, for her senior season, capped it off with a second team selection in the infield. And Sarah Phillips was picked second team in the outfield for the Demons. She's a senior. Kayloni Navarez, a pitcher for Dexter, was picked second team for Class 3A. Congratulations to all of you. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. A Fed decision looms. May CPI update today. And J&J's $700 million talcum settlement. June Fed meetings wrapping up today. There's no chance of a rate cut today. Only a slim chance the Fed will cut rates at all this year. Wall Street preparing for a hawkish tone from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. He's set to speak at 2 o'clock Eastern today. The May Consumer Price Index is out Wednesday. Wall Street expecting the May Producer Price Index down sharply over the previous month. The PPI coming Thursday. Broadcom earnings this evening. Wall Street expecting annual revenue to be up 35% from a year ago. Broadcom stock up more than 30% on the year. J&J reaching a $700 million talcum powder settlement with dozens of U.S. states. This after an investigation into cancer-causing baby powder
The drug maker not admitting wrongdoing, J&J still facing tens of thousands of lawsuits, and the stock down 8% on the year. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I've been hearing a lot about Lang Insurance. They sell luxury home insurance to high net worth individuals in all 50 states. Call Kevin Lang at Lang Insurance. Call 866-964-4434. He's an expert in reviewing your current coverage to save you money, leaving you with your current insurance company or moving you to a less expensive one. Kevin speaks with every new client. Your call, they quote, you save. That's 866-964-4434 or visit langins.com.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating two companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Artesia General Hospital recently welcomed urogynecologist Scott Beard to the team. Dr. Beard is board certified in obstetrics and gynecology, as well as female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery. With nearly 25 years of experience in women's health, he treats conditions such as incontinence, chronic pelvic pain, prolapse, endometriosis, and others, offering surgical and non-surgical care options. Dr. Beard joins our women's services team currently working out of Memorial Family Practice in Artesia and is accepting new patients. Learn more and schedule your visit at artesiageneral.com/UROGYN or call 575-736-8394.
Cash for Junkers is back at Roswell Honda, and that means if you can push it, pull it, or drag it to Roswell Honda, it's worth up to $3,000 towards your next vehicle. And with a lot chock full of beautiful new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, your old busted could be the key to your new hotness. And push, pull, and drag your family to Roswell Honda Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 1 for free hot dogs and drinks, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win a $400 Visa gift card. Cash for Junkers on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The ball on top of a flagpole is called a truck. Mess with your friends today by pointing at a flagpole and say, "Hey, check out the truck on top of that flagpole." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 8 minutes away from 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. In case you missed any portion of today's program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Simply click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab, and you'll be treated to the show in its entirety. You can also follow along with the show live and, of course, participate in the live chat on our Facebook page, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, where, by the way, I just shared the picture and the story that we were just talking about. Actually, let me make sure it's shared. Not now. Yes, it's shared. Okay, there you go. So if you want to see that fossilized hunk of dookie, you can go check it out for yourself over at the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. Check that out for yourself. And after the program, all of the interviews we have here will be pieced up and put up on the Facebook page for you to enjoy as well. 7 minutes away from 9 o'clock, let us pause and get you up to date with the local weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like the heat will hang around through the upcoming weekend. Right around the 100-degree mark for us today. We'll have sunshine, and then tonight clear, dropping to the low 70s. About 105 to 106 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and sunny. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, but it will stay hot, and we'll get some sunshine going up to about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently staying steady at 74 degrees. Humidity is at about 67% currently. Winds out of the south at around 9 miles an hour. The barometer at 30.11 inches with a dew point of 62 degrees. And by the way, you can see for miles and miles. 10 miles visibility. Much better than the visibility we had on Saturday afternoon for most of southeastern New Mexico. That was impassable, especially on a donut. For today, we are looking for another hot one, like 7 inches from the midday sun. 101 for the high. Isolated sprinkles after 3 p.m. Otherwise, it's going to be sunny. Winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Mostly clear for tonight, dropping down to a nice 69 degrees. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday, sunny. Once again, hot. In fact, very hot. 107 for the high. Winds out of the southeast between 5 and 10 miles per hour. For Thursday night, we're looking at mostly clear skies, dropping down to a low of around 74 degrees. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour. Slight chance of showers before noon and 3 p.m., between noon and 3 p.m., then a slight chance of thunderstorms after 3 p.m. on your Friday. Mostly sunny and hot. It's going to be a high of around 100. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour. Your chance of precip there is at about 20%. 40% chance of the wet stuff on Friday night. As you head out and about doing your Friday activities, grab a rainbrella. Grab an umbrella because you might need it in case it rains. It's mostly going to be happening before midnight, but if you're out after midnight, well, just grab a stack of newspapers, put it over your head. I'm sure you'll be fine. Mostly sunny and back up to 100 for your Saturday. Mostly clear and dropping down to 73 for the overnight low. Saturday night, sunny and hot with a high of 105 degrees for your Sunday. More the same for the week ahead. 105 for your Monday, 103 for the high on Tuesday. Hey, real quickly, wanted to remind you that we've been talking about this a lot lately, but we've been putting together the Gonzales Hope Center. I have no involvement whatsoever, but the Gonzales Hope Center has been putting together these blessing bags that they're giving out to folks in need this hot season. I mean, we haven't even officially started summertime yet, and we're already dealing with triple digits. It's going to be like this for most of the summer. We want to make sure the folks who are in need are taken care of. So the Gonzales Hope Center is putting together blessing bags, and they're asking for any and all donations that you can make towards the program. Why don't you come on in? Why don't you have a seat? You just sit at the door like a sad little puppy. You know way more about this than I do. Jocelyn, joining us on the program. How are you doing this morning?
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the blessing bags you guys are putting together.
So, of course, it's already going to be in the hundreds. It's already, again, so we need to help our friends, and it's really hot. So we're trying to put together outreach bags with water, but we're really needing reusable water bottles. I know people have them. We collect them. We all do. Mm-hmm. So if you have any extra, please donate them. That way we can have water bottles to fill.
Yes. All those folks out there who bought 15 Stanley tumblers, you could sacrifice 4 or 5 of them.
Yes. And plastic water bottles go, but there's a lot of waste. Right. So it's better to have a bottle that they can refill.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And with refill stations that are open around town, that'll be a better opportunity. So definitely reusable water bottles are vital right now.
Yes.
What are the other big items that you guys are in need of?
So big items, we still need visors. I know you can probably order a lot of them online for pretty cheap. Sunglasses.
CasinoDealer.com, you can get a bulk deal.
Yes. We have a lot of things that we have gotten. Thank you to the community for their donations. We have not made bags yet. We're just kind of waiting on a few more things to make those, and hopefully we'll be able to get them out next week.
Excellent. Always, bottles of water are needed just for immediate consumption, but of course the reusable water bottles are the most vital right now. Umbrellas, sun hats, sunglasses, personal care items, Band-Aids, feminine care items, things like that, and then just some comfort items. snacks that aren't perishable.
Yeah, snacks, crackers, granola bars, chips, anything that we can put in a outreach bag for those guys.
A little sustenance. That's all we're looking
Yeah.
for. And they can drop that off at the Gonzales Hope Center right over there on East 3rd. What are the new brewery thing that they're opening there? What is it called? Because they keep saying it's behind the old 3rd Street station.
I'm not sure. I know somebody bought it. I'm not sure what's going in there right now.
So we'll just say behind the old 3rd Street
yeah.
station. You can't miss the place. It's a big sign on the lawn there, or on the front there, and or they can give you a call.
Yeah, my number is 575-208-9509. Just give me a call, and I can either meet you at the center or arrange to where we can meet and get a donation.
Excellent. There you go. So, folks, if you can help out, if you're out like a Sam's Club or just at Walmart, just grab an extra case of water, maybe a few snacks, and bring them by the Hope Center, because we really are definitely want to put these bags together and make sure that the folks who are in need feel love this hot time of year.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean.
It's going to be miserable. Thanks again, Jocelyn. Hey, stay tuned next hour. We're going to be chatting with Dr. Powell. We're going to replay the interview with Dr. Powell and Chris Bullard on the other side of Town Hall News on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says mediators will keep trying to close an elusive ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Blinken says Hamas wants what it calls amendments to the U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal.
Hamas has proposed numerous changes to the proposal that was on the table. We discussed those changes last night with Egyptian colleagues and today with the Prime Minister. Some of the changes are workable, some are not.
Hamas's response has laid bare the frustration after previous moments of optimism have been repeatedly dashed by the differences between the two sides over the deal. President Biden is heading back to Europe today to attend the G7 summit in the southeastern part of Italy. Mr. Biden will push a plan to his G7 counterparts to use the interest from frozen Russian assets to provide up to $50 billion in loans for Ukraine's war effort. Retired Army Captain Sam Brown has overcome a crowded primary field in Nevada's Republican U.S. Senate primary.
Brown's victory sets up a fierce battle against Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen in November that could decide the control of the U.S. Senate. Brown was recruited by national Republicans who were deliberately trying to avoid a repeat of their lackluster show in the 2022 midterms. All but cementing Brown's victory was the endorsement of former President Donald Trump on Sunday. Brown told his supporters Tuesday that he would work to secure the border, provide energy security, lower taxes, and reform the judiciary. In a speech to supporters at a Reno Watch Party, Brown described an America, quote, at a crossroads, where he said his children, quote, have no voice and no vote in the country that they will inherit. I'm Bernie Bennett.
Jerry West, who was selected to the Basketball Hall of Fame 3 times, died this morning. He was 86. On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead 167 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Children who survived the 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, will be graduating high school with mixed emotions. Although they're excited to go off to college or start a career, they say they're also sad their classmates who were killed can't be with them to celebrate. Sandy Hook student Grace Fisher, who survived the shooting, says their class wants to feel like normal high school graduates.
I think going to college and being able to move out and start a new chapter of my life is very special,
and Sandy Hook will always be with me, and I will, of course, share my story.
A gunman killed 20 first graders and 6 educators in the attack. A Russian woman has been detained and questioned in Denmark for allegedly helping a foreign intelligence agency to operate in the country. The Scandinavian Security Service says the woman faces preliminary charges. News and analysis at townhall.com. An off-duty Atlanta policeman takes down a man who opened fire at a very crowded food court. And the city's mayor is grateful he was there.
Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens says had the off-duty police officer not been here, the situation at the Peachtree Center food court could have been way worse. The officer shooting and wounding the 34-year-old gunman who has an extensive criminal record. He shot 3 people, a 47-year-old man and 2 women, ages 69 and 79, all at the hospital, expected to survive. This underground food court packed with people eating at various restaurants when the shots were fired just after 2 in the afternoon. Laura Winters, Atlanta.
The Board of General Motors has approved another $6 billion share repurchase as the Detroit automaker adds to its 2024 momentum. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. A morning without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Not Talk FM. You don't want to be sued. Talk FM. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy halfway day, hump day. Happy whatever day you want to call it, just as long as you get up to get at them. Doggone it, and make it your day. That's really all we can ask for. Just getting a chance to check in on the chat. And Iona kind of going crazy in the chat. First of all, I got to clarify. She pronounced it Wrestling Day in the chat. It's pronounced Wrasslin' Day or Wrasslin' Night, more specifically. And I will not be saving my poo. I don't care how much it's worth. It's going to take a long time for it to gain any sort of value. And trust me, I can't stand up to that man's log. It's impressive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. You can check it out for yourself in all of its splendor and glory. Coming up here in just a few minutes, around 9:15 or so, we're going to replay the interview we had yesterday with Dr. Sean Powell and Chris Bullard from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. We'll be chit-chatting. We did have a great chit-chat all about programs that are available at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. The degree programs, certification programs, CDL programs, and even some 2-week courses that could put you on a whole new career path in as little as 14 days. Anybody else getting that weird buzzing in their ear? Maybe the tinnitus is finally set in. So I got to tell you, every now and again, like I said last hour, the internet is always an interesting box to open because you never know what you're going to get. Yesterday, I stumbled on something that it doesn't sound like it should work. Orange juice is one of the most divisive liquids on the planet. If you've ever had orange juice directly after brushing your teeth, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Ain't a great taste. But orange juice does weird things to certain beverages. And somebody had an interesting idea. They said, here's what you do. You go to your bar, you take equal parts Kahlua, so you got your coffee there, and orange juice. So I said, equal parts Kahlua and orange juice. And they said, and you go ahead and tell me what it tastes like. I said, all right. So I took out my jigger. I poured out 1.5 ounces of Kahlua, and I poured out 1.5 ounces of orange juice, mixed that in my mixing glass, strained it off. And I will be doggone if it didn't taste spot on, exactly like a Tootsie Roll. I mean, exactly like a Tootsie Roll. Like there was no alcohol taste whatsoever. It just tasted like a Tootsie Roll. And I was like, this tastes like and they said, it tastes like a Tootsie Roll. I'm like, exactly. It's the weirdest combination of flavors. Should not work under any circumstances, but by gosh, it absolutely does. So if you're of legal age, and of course, you're someone who drinks responsibly, give it a shot. Next time you're bellied up to the bar, just freak out your bartender and say, hey, why don't you give me a Kahlua and orange juice? See what they'd say. You never know whose minds you might be able to open up. But try it out for yourself. Get back to me and tell me it doesn't taste spot on like a Tootsie Roll. That, my friends, that's a dangerous combination. 10 minutes after 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, let us pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like the heat will hang around through the upcoming weekend. Right around the 100-degree mark for us today. We'll have sunshine, and then tonight clear, dropping to the low 70s. About 105 to 106 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and sunny. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, but it will stay hot, and we'll get some sunshine going up to about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. I'm talking to myself over here. Currently 77 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is at 64%. Winds out of the out of the south at around 14 miles an hour. The barometer at 30.11 inches with the dew point of 64 degrees. Our heat index, by the way, is 79 degrees. So do with that information what you see fit. Isolated sprinkles after 3 p.m. Sunny skies, and it's going to be a hot one. 101 for the high today. Winds out of the south at around 10 miles an hour. Mostly clear for tonight with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunny and hot for your Thursday. 107 for the high. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 once again. Thursday night, mostly clear, looking at 74 for the overnight low. And Friday, well, Friday's going to be a little complicated. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The showers between noon and 3, and the thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Mostly sunny otherwise, and a high of 100 for your finally Friday. 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms before midnight, partly cloudy, dropping down to 68 degrees. 100 for the high on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. 73 for the overnight low on Saturday night. And then once again, 105 for the high on your Sunday. 105 for Monday. 103 for your Tuesday. What am I saying? It gonna be hot. Plan accordingly. Keep your electrolytes up. Trust me. I had a horrific experience outside of a used car lot in Carlsbad just a couple of weeks ago. Pretty sure I almost died, you guys. It was not fun. So stay hydrated. Keep the electrolytes up. I was trying to explain the importance of salts to my daughter, and then I'm like, wait a second. Her diet is like 87% salt. I think you know what? She's going to be fine. She'll be fine. 12 minutes after 9 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Going to pay a couple of these bills. And after these, I'm going to replay our interview we had with Dr. Sean Powell and Chris Bullard from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
You received a social media message or text from an unknown number. They started a conversation with you, and over time, they earn your trust. Then, they encourage you to invest online or buy cryptocurrency. And when you do, they disappear, along with your money. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
We'll chit-chat with them coming up here in just a few minutes. Good morning, fellas. How are y'all doing? All right, we're doing this on the fly.
I understand.
Yes, sir. Dr. Powell with Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. And I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, sir. What's your name?
Chris Bullard.
Chris Bullard? All right. Yes, sir. Chris Bullard. And how are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing good. Sean, how are you?
It has been a busy morning. I'm running 2 different shows at the same time, but doggone it, we're trying to keep the plates spinning.
Okay, so, we'll see what we can do to help out.
Absolutely. So we are officially in the summer season, the summer semester with Eastern Mexico University, Roswell. How did graduation go?
Graduation went great. We had 150 people walk, over 330, I think, graduated. Wow. And the Civic Center was packed. Nice. And then the day before, our adult education graduation had over 50 students, and our Performing Arts Center was packed as well. So it's been a great graduation process for us. Early College High School, that was over Memorial Day weekend at the Wool Bowl.
Yep.
And of the 39 students that they graduated, 33 of them had completed associate degrees or certificates with us during that time period. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That's a great head start for a future career. Once you actually graduate high school, then you already have your base degree. You can build from there, and the sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So how have things been going getting into the summer semester?
Well, things are going good, and Chris is here. He is the director of our workforce training, and so he does workforce training for non-credit programming. He's going to talk about that a little bit and some options that we have. And then also we have some summer programs that he oversees as well that he wanted to visit about.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well, Chris, how are you doing this morning, first and foremost?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. So tell us a little about your program and who it's for and what you guys offer.
Yes, sir. So I'm the director for community and workforce training, as Dr. Powell had mentioned. Mm-hmm. And, the mission is to help upskill community members, local, regional, statewide folks, and various trades, vocational trades such as CDL, for example.
Sure, absolutely.
We're over that program. That's a fascinating program. We have a pretty good deal running right now. They can check us out online. But there's a substantial discount for folks to go ahead and attend one of our training courses. Mm-hmm. They're 5 weeks long. They're not 8 weeks, they're not 10 weeks, they're not 12 weeks, they're 5 weeks long.
Sure.
And, our success rate is about 98 to 99% graduation rate. Yeah. And not only that, but, when folks graduate with us and finish our training, they receive a certification and they are connected to an employment opportunity.
Awesome.
So nobody's really sitting idle.
You're hitting the ground with your CDL, and that in and of itself is huge. I mean, that opens up the door to so many different opportunities. Whether you're over the road driving locally, deliveries, it is key to have that CDL. So that's an amazing thing.
Absolutely.
And within 5 weeks, so pardon the pun, it is a bit of a crash course.
It is. It's a bit of a crash course, but you know what? It can be done correctly. And like I said, with our trainer, Mr. Andy Anchondo, he is very thorough. He is excellent. He's a million-mile driver or more. So an excellent individual to learn from. But he does. I mean, when you join us, it's not it is accelerated 5 weeks, but it's not accelerated to the point to where, we're just going to release you out there, untrained.
Yeah,
and
it's not overwhelming. You get you get everything that you need to know. And trust me when I say, having spent, I'm not a million-mile driver myself, but I've driven about a block in a semi-truck, and that was terrifying for both me and the instructor who was standing behind me. Luckily, though, I was able. He didn't fall. The person who did it after me threw him to the back of the cab, which that was great for all of us. That was fun for all of us. But it is not an easy thing to do. It is not an easy task to get that CDL. But once you get it, it's like riding a bike. It's you have that training. It's set in your mind, and you can go anywhere with it.
Absolutely. And while we're at it, let me shout out the other programs too. Yes. That if anybody knows anyone who is interested in attending at ENMU Roswell's aviation, HVAC, welding, nursing, EMT. Come on down. Come on down and give us a shot. Give us a look. We'll take care of you, and we'll make sure you get the training you need and the certification you need. That way, you just don't sit on it. We'll connect you to an employment opportunity.
That's right. The pandemic opened up a lot of people's minds of like, maybe I'm in a rut. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time to do something about it. And then things got back to normal, and we just kind of fell back into our routines. But if you still have that mindset of, I want to change. I want to upgrade my life. My standard of living. They can do it for you at ENMU Roswell. It's Absolutely. A great place to start, and in some cases, complete certifications and degree programs. The nursing program alone, I've known several students who have graduated from that program and have gone on to have amazing careers. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's definitely worth looking into.
Absolutely.
So as we get into the summertime season, obviously things are kind of calming down a little bit, but from your perspective, as far as workforce and finding and setting up different programs. It's basically firing all cylinders, right? It's all systems go.
It is. It's all systems go. I don't think there's much of a sit-down period, or as we say in the South, I'm originally a Southerner, we don't let the grass grow beneath our feet, right? So it's a hustle bustle, and we're always generating something going that's going to help upskill people. This summer, we also have some camps for our youth, right? For example, we've got a kids college or a Lego camp coming up. It's running from June 17th to June 21st. Mm-hmm. Ages 4 through 13 years old, roughly. But we have camps like that to help the youth, obviously, to be innovative, creative, build and intuitive, not just sit back and play video games, all day long. Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
but
and it's funny
creative.
You mention that because there is a camp coming up. I believe it's in July that my daughter is very interested in. Because my son went to Camp Invention. He's got the science brain. My daughter's very interested in becoming an influencer, becoming a YouTuber. Okay. And I believe there's a YouTube creator camp coming up in July.
Yes, sir, we do. So we also have, with July being said, from July 8th through roughly the 15th or so. But there's a YouTube content creator class. There's also a Roblox class. But YouTube content YouTube content creator, though, that is obviously a craze that's been going, and you can do quite well if you have the right training, teaching, and the desire. So but we do have a course running this summer.
It does bother me though that I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be an actor when I grow up. I want to be a firefighter. My son said the other day, I want to be Mr. Beast when I grow up. That's depressing. I mean, hey, you know what? Aim for the stars, but good luck, buddy. Good luck. Who doesn't want their own line of candy bars, right?
That's right.
So if folks want to find out more about these programs that you guys are offering or the camps, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Sure. They can reach me by email address or just call the university. My email address, if I can shout it out real quick, is Brandon, BRANDON .Bullard, BULLARD @ENMU.edu.
Okay.
Or they can reach me by office line 575-624-7325. And I will say that there is another camp in July. There's an Art Fest camp also that I need to make mention. Right now, I'm sorry, Dr. Pearl. Right now we have we had roughly 60, 70 people in the past, and we're up to I think 80 participants at this point, and we're still climbing. So, and that's mid-July, July 15th through 20th in that range. But that's a very good camp. So that's what we do in the workforce area. We want to upskill, we want to develop, we want to hone in talent that may be undiscovered. We want to build and be creative.
And there's a lot of a lot to the book learning of it all. You got to get the basics and your reading, writing, arithmetic. But I love the fact that there's now the A that's being added into STEM. That there's been such a focus on art and research has proven that accessing the arts and kids having access to the arts, it lights up different parts of the brain that aren't activated through regular book learning. It's fascinating to watch through different brain scans. So it's vital that the arts are as big of a part of the education process, and it's great to see that it's being kept alive here. So you love to see it. So it's brandon.bullard@enmu.edu, and the phone number you said 624-7325.
Correct.
Excellent. So reach out if you want to be a part of those programs. If you want to get your CDL, that's a great place to do it, and it's just a great start. Now, as far as fall 2024, looking ahead, obviously we as soon as we wrap up the spring semester, it's immediately okay. Now let's hit the ground on fall. So how have things been looking for lead up to fall?
So absolutely, enrollment is ongoing for the fall semester, and we're looking forward to that start in August. And the last time I saw numbers, we were up about 5%, I think, over where we were last year in terms of a year-to-date comparison.
Excellent.
But we have lots of programs. Chris mentioned several of them. You've mentioned a few of them. What's going to be going on in terms of capital improvement and projects on the campus this coming year, we're going to expand that nursing program.
Excellent.
They have opportunities for 36 people, I believe, is the number they're looking at to start in the August class. And then they'll start another one in January. So there's 72 right now. Once we get this nursing expansion project underway, which we hope to do in July, it'll be about a year project to expand what used to be the dental clinic into a new space, classroom space, training space for the nursing program. They're looking to double that.
Awesome.
They had over 90 applications for the August class. So I'm not disappointed at all with the nursing program. They're doing a great job. Also with the nursing program, they have received notification that all of the nurses on their first time testing passed. So they had 100% pass rate on their licensing exam for the first time the last couple of years. Our occupational therapy assistance program is fully accredited, and they're looking for more individuals to come into the OTA program. And then we have respiratory therapy. We also have medical assisting. And then we have the EMS program. And the thing about the EMS program, that goes from EMT basic all the way to paramedic. And our campus is charged with the eastern part of the state and providing those services to existing firefighting departments and firefighters who want to increase their skill set and get that paramedic license.
So our program feeds into the eastern part of the entire state.
Absolutely.
So, job opportunities and opportunities for advancement and in career are limitless.
Absolutely. And the programs that Chris is talking about, he didn't really want to put a number on it, but I'll go ahead and say this. So this CDL program, it's supported by funding we got from the state, and it all went to workforce training. And we got over $500,000 to spend this year for workforce training. And so, for example, we're looking at reducing the cost of our training programs to either very low cost or no cost training for training in CDL. And I think the cost is $500 for the 5-week course. And that includes your license fee, your physical exam, and your drug test, I think.
Correct. Yeah. Yes.
So $500 you can get a CDL test.
That's fantastic. Done. I mean, you're not going to find a program like I've actually reached out and talked to instructors that do CDL, and they'll tell you that finding it for less than $1,500, $2,000 is a miracle.
Correct.
So that's fantastic.
Right.
We love to see that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different opportunities and so many great programs at ENMU Roswell. One that I don't think really gets talked about enough is. And this is maybe this is back when I was in school. They have a fantastic early childhood education program.
Absolutely,
one of the best in the state. I mean, it rivals, NMSU. It rivals UNM. It's one of the best because of the practicums that are involved and because of the hands-on approach that they take. It's a great program.
Absolutely. Our full-time faculty in education, Kelsey Wilson, is a very experienced educator, and she brings a lot of knowledge and information from her experience in working in the public schools with a variety of students. And then the dean for that program is Edna Yoakum, and she oversees the arts and sciences program, and that includes the education degrees that we have. And we're looking at tying in the early childhood back into our Child Development Center more than we have had recently, so they can have more experiences at an earlier point in their studies.
Sure. Yeah, and that Child Development Center, I looked at it like a sentence. I served my term in the Child Development Center, but and that's why I'm in radio now, right? I obviously didn't complete the program, but it is a great program, and not enough good can be said about that program. So expansion happening all across the campus. Programs are expanding. Opportunities are expanding.
Absolutely. And like I said, enrollment is ongoing. And if you just go out to the website, which is roswell.enmu.edu, you'll find ways to enroll online and to get registered and get all of your materials there. And the earlier you do it, the more opportunities and classes and options you're going to have.
Sure. And now's the time. If you're if you're a student who just graduated from high school, obviously you've probably already hit the ground running, getting your FAFSA filled out and all that. But now's the time. Now's the time to look into programs with the Bridge scholarship that leads into the lottery scholarship. Now's the time to make sure you have your spot filled in for that.
Absolutely. And New Mexico as a state, through the legislature and the governor, have offered quite a bit of opportunities for individuals to go to school. And it initially started off with the Opportunity Scholarship about 3 years ago. And the idea was then it was just going to be for the 2-year campuses, and they've expanded that to the 4-year campuses now. So if you're a New Mexico resident and you want to go to school, their Opportunity Scholarship is there, the Lottery Scholarship is there, plus our foundation supports students. And so there's lots of funding available right now here in New Mexico for educational programming.
That's one of the best parts about ENMU Roswell is the flexibility. Whether you want to do a 5-week program for your CDL and hit the ground running on a career, whether you want to maybe expand into a certification that takes a year for like your welding programs, or go for a 2-year degree, or even take that maybe to Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, pursuing your bachelor's degree.
Absolutely.
It's such a flexible program. It's such a flexible school.
Right. We have lots of transfer opportunities for individuals who want to move on to a 4-year degree. And that's another thing about early college high school. When I was looking over the list of the graduates, just going back to those 39 graduates, and the thing that Lucy Hall, the principal, said at the graduation ceremony is, you were the class in 8th grade that went home for spring break and didn't come back. This was the class from COVID. They started with 50 and they finished with 39. I'm thinking those other 11 probably went on to other high schools here locally. But it takes a certain type of student and a certain dedication to go through the early college experience. But there were several of them that earned not only one associate's degree, but maybe 2. And some of them are going on to other 4-year institutions. Some of them will be going to New Mexico Tech. Some of them will be going to NMSU, ENMU. So there's lots of opportunities on our campus for not only the college-age students, but also those early college high school students.
And that's something that is unprecedented. That I've never had to think about going to school on a laptop at my house. Like that's a lot and you have to commit yourself. It's self-dedication. I've known I knew students in high school at the time, my friends sons and daughters that they would do an assignment maybe every now and again, but other than that it was just kind of forgotten about. But the kids who kept up with their assignments and used that extra time to keep pursue the early college, it opened up so much opportunity for those kids. I mean, it really kind of, as they say, separated the wheat from the chaff. You really saw who was committed, who was going to keep stick to it, and who was maybe looking at a career in fast food. It's lucrative. It's fine. You work your way up to the top.
Right.
It's
That's
nice.
right. That's right.
But with ENMU Roswell, there's plenty of opportunities. Obviously, advisors, you can call and talk to an advisor right now if you're not sure about what your next steps are. They can help you out and show you different ways to make it work for you.
Absolutely. So we have a career center that they can get some guidance from, and also our academic advisors. So there's a variety of methods. And I think the other group that I wanted to mention this morning is the Youth Challenge cadets. They're going to be starting a new class. They graduate this Saturday, the group that's here now.
Awesome.
And then in July, they'll start a new class, and they're looking at bringing in 160 cadets to start. So they're going to be back to pre-COVID types of numbers when they bring in this July class. That's the expectation right now. And we just truly honor that responsibility and the relationship we have with the New Mexico National Guard, and appreciate the opportunity to provide the education programming for the Youth Challenge program, because that is a program that can truly change somebody's life path.
100%. Absolutely. I've seen it take somebody who, wasn't sure about their future, wasn't sure even if they wanted a future, and it put them on a path to success. It's a fantastic program. And if you're ever out, at any of the events around Roswell, you go to like the UFO festival and you see the kids in the camo pants cleaning up the streets, picking up the trash, stop and say thank you and thank them for what they do, because it's tough work, man. Those kids are up, before dawn doing formations and marching. That was always the fun, because I lived off Wells Street when I was going to college. So early in the morning, I could always hear the cadets, doing formation and marching all around the base out there.
Absolutely.
It's a great program. So if you're, if you have a young person who maybe isn't sure about what they're going to do, Youth Challenge is a fantastic program. I fully recommend it.
And they are still taking applications for that July class, and so I'd encourage you to get online and just look at New Mexico Youth Challenge program, and you'll be able to find the right information and the contact individuals. I think the other thing, obviously, that's happening here in Roswell is we have a new modular home manufacturer, and one of our students was actually one of the ones that drove the first nail last Friday when they did the grand opening ceremony. And so we're looking at being involved with BuiltWise, and we've had several meetings with their company and talking about how our students in the HVAC program and the welding program are going to be able to be hired there. And they're looking at hiring 300 people to build these mobile homes, or I shouldn't say mobile homes, excuse me, modular homes. Modular homes. I got to take that back. I apologize.
Homes of the future.
Homes of the future. That's right. And their goal. They're an existing company on the East Coast, and they've relocated here, and they've redesigned the bus factory. And we got a tour of it a week or so ago, and just seeing how they're getting everything planned to have the new homes put together. They're looking, like I said, to hire 300 people, and we'll see what other opportunities there'll be for our students. But I'm thinking HVAC, welding, and business obviously will have some tie-ins with their company as they grow and start their production. And then the Reno Air Races, they're coming.
Huge
coming in, and we'll just have to see how that goes when we have 10 or 15,000 people in the Air Center on one day or more, and what that does for campus.
It's I have a feeling that commercially the base is about to explode. We're going to see so much growth at the base just to facilitate these races.
Right.
It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited for the future.
Well, the people of Roswell and the EDC, Mike Espiritu, and the other folks, the mayor, who all worked together to put this into place, and they persisted during the application process, and the college is glad to partner with them. I know in May they have their qualification programs, and so we'll be using space in the campus, classrooms, other spaces that they will need to go through their training programs and get their certifications, so they'll be good to race in September. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and this is going to be one of those things. It's all hands on deck. Everybody kind of working together to make this event a success.
Absolutely.
I thought it was funny. The program, or we ended up getting the Reno Air Races and just edged out Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Casper.
Or Casper, Wyoming. Sorry, Casper.
Yeah.
You're right, Casper. But in the interview in the last hour with Miss Crystal Noble, they were talking about taking a shipment of dogs up to Casper, Wyoming, from our Humane Society to theirs. And all I could think was, is that the consolation prize?
Oh, boy.
Like, we got the air races, they got a couple of our Bichon Frises.
Yeah.
Is that how that worked?
Not sure how that's going to work out. Not sure how Casper would receive that. So we'll see.
We'll see how it all works. I wouldn't put the dogs behind the airplanes, though. It probably won't end well. But yeah, just lots of excitement, lots of growth, and this is a great time to think about expanding your education, expanding your career opportunities, and it's the ground floor, and E&M Roswell is right here to help you do it.
Absolutely. And again, Chris has some other workforce training programs. Do you want to mention the other ones that you have going on?
Yeah. We're excited. I mean, we have, for example, remote piloting as Part 107 licensing folks up and coming. We all know that drone technology, or UAS is what it's known, unmanned aerial systems, is the wave of the future. And it's in demand, from surveying to oil field companies to real estate. Remote piloting technology is the wave of the future. So we will have some classes upcoming for anybody who is interested. And again, they can reach out to my contact information that I provided earlier. But if anybody's interested in getting a Part 107 license for remote piloting, we will offer those classes really soon, and those trainings really soon. It's a couple of weeks long. It's not super extensive.
Sure.
We're talking maybe 20 hours a week or so for 2 weeks. They said then we'll set you up to get tested, get your Part 107 license, and then you can rock and roll.
Start like within 2 weeks. You have a career.
You have a career, exactly.
That's amazing.
And these careers pay very well. I mean, you can easily get a remote piloting job starting anywhere from about $80 to $90 an hour. So especially with, like I said, these oil field companies and surveying companies that need that technology and need that, those the videos, they need the photography. They just need those. So we are excited about that program up and coming. And again, I touched up on welding a little bit. We do have and are sponsoring psychology and sociology in terms of mental health and wellness. That's another big one. That we're, like I said, we're sponsoring various events throughout the state. Folks that already have a national speaker coming in, like I said, we are able to give quite a bit of money towards paying participation fees for these events. And that amount is about $75,000 worth of money that we can divvy up and pay on, roughly $247 a piece per person to attend these events. So
every dollar helps.
Absolutely. We want them to get their continuous education. We want them to continue to pursue their field of psychology and sociology, because we do know mental health and wellness is super important. And, we just want that. We want that overall wellness for people, because we need it more so now than ever in these days, right?
Absolutely. So, and it's great that it's finally, there's finally a spotlight being put on mental health. And,
absolutely.
And it's about time.
Yeah,
it really is. So that's great to hear. So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. And like we said, whether it's, 2 weeks with this remote pilot program, the CDL program is 5 weeks. These are all things you could knock out over the summer and, start a completely new life on the other side of the summertime season. So it would behoove you to reach out. The email you said was brandon.bullard@enmu.edu, correct?
Yes, correct.
Excellent. And or call 624-7325 for more info on those programs, whether it's the vocational programs or any of the the workforce things. Great opportunities for you there at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell.
Well, Chris, Sean, thank you for the time today. Chris, thanks for being here with us today. Appreciate it. And we'll just hopefully get people enrolled in the next month or so, and then they'll have those fall classes starting in August.
There you go. If folks want more information, how do they reach out to you?
So I think, again, the best way is on our website. It's roswell.enmu.edu on the web.
Yeah. So roswell.enmu.edu it's the catch-all. It's got all the info. It talks about the degree programs, different financial aid that's available to you, as well as these programs that Chris was talking about as well. So it would behoove you, if you're looking for a career advancement, give ENMU Roswell a shot, because they're there for you, and they can definitely help you succeed. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We appreciate having you, and we'll talk to you again next month.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A Colorado teenager who had been reported as missing back in May is reportedly safe here in Artesia and living with her father. Artesia police said they have found 15-year-old Giselle Lujan and that she is not considered missing at this time. The department further said it had received legal paperwork granting immediate custody of the child to her father, Robert Lujan. The temporary order signed by a judge. The sheriff in Eagle County, Colorado, reported he had not seen the legal papers and has since closed the case. As fire danger continues to rise in southeast New Mexico, Carlsbad Caverns is announcing the immediate implementation of preventative measures. The measures include a prohibition on fire, charcoal, and propane grills in the park, a ban on smoking cigarettes except inside personal vehicles, and open flames and cooking stoves are prohibited in the backcountry. The increased fire danger is, of course, due to the hot, dry, and windy conditions and extremely dry and brittle vegetation that could cause even the smallest spark to ignite into a large blaze very quickly. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 16 minutes away from 10 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Let us get you up to date with the local weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. It looks like the heat will hang around through the upcoming weekend. Right around the 100-degree mark for us today. We'll have sunshine, and then tonight clear, dropping to the low 70s. About 105 to 106 for the afternoon high on Thursday, and sunny. We do have a slim chance of an afternoon shower on Friday, but it will stay hot, and we'll get some sunshine going up to about 100. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees around Roswell Way, double sevens. Humidity at 64%. Winds coming out of the south at around 14 miles an hour. Getting a little bit more windy now, as we really do have to come up with a new name for Mike's weed tree. Because first of all, it's not a weed tree, and secondly, it doesn't even look like a weed anymore. So I think maybe it's time for us to just start calling it a tree. That being said, I'm pretty sure that also ages Mike. He's like, back when I started on this radio show, this was just a weed tree. But I digress. Barometer at about 30.11 inches with a dew point of 64 degrees. Visibility at around 10 miles. I think I'm slowly losing my mind inside this box. 101 for the high today under mostly sunny skies, although isolated sprinkles after 3 p.m. Expect that cool phenomenon we really only get in southeastern New Mexico called sun rain, where you can't really explain what the weather is, just that it's weather. Sunny and hot, 101 for the high today. We are under a heat advisory today, as well as tomorrow, as well as Saturday and Sunday. Not as much on Friday, but again, that's mostly because of the moisture, which we'll get to that in a second. Sunny and hot, 107 for the high on Thursday. Winds out of the southeast, again, 5 to 10 miles an hour, so no real relief from the heat unless you give it to yourself. Mostly clear, 74 for the overnight low on Thursday night. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour. Then a slight chance of showers, only about 20% between noon and 3 on Friday. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3. Mostly sunny, though, and hot, 100 for the high. 40% chance of the wet stuff on Friday night, dropping down to 68 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Saturday, sunny, back up to 100. 105 for your Sunday. Saturday, 100, back up to 105 for your Sunday. Wow, learn to talk, Sean. 105 for Monday, as well as 103 for the high on Tuesday. 14 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Gonna pause and get you up to date with your Wall Street business update.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Jeremy House. Inflation in the U.S. eased last month, and a sign that a pickup in prices that occurred early this year may have passed.
Trend, if it holds, could move the Federal Reserve closer to cutting its benchmark interest rate from its 23-year peak. Consumer prices, excluding volatile food and energy costs, the closely watched core index, rose 0.2% from April to May. That was down from 0.3% the previous month and was the smallest increase since October.
That's correspondent Bernie Bennett reporting. Federal Reserve officials today will likely make official what's been clear for many weeks. With inflation sticking to a level well above their 2% target, they're downgrading their outlook for interest rate cuts. The European Union has moved to hike tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, escalating a trade dispute over Beijing's subsidies for the exports that Brussels worries is hurting domestic automakers. With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Jeremy House.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Conservation Service, integrity and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Cash for Junkers is back at Roswell Honda, and that means if you can push it, pull it, or drag it to Roswell Honda, it's worth up to $3,000 towards your next vehicle. And with a lot chock full of beautiful new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, your old busted could be the key to your new hotness. And push, pull, and drag your family to Roswell Honda Saturday, June 22nd from 10 to 1 for free hot dogs and drinks, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win a $400 Visa gift card. Cash for Junkers on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 10 minutes away from 10 o'clock on a Morning with Mike Winters. Got a few minutes before they kick me off the air here and get you into Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. That'll be coming up around the 10 o'clock hour, just after Town Hall News. Mixmaster Mike Winters back inside your radios 1 week from yesterday. So next Tuesday, he should be back from his week-long excursions, hopefully chock full of stories to tell of life at sea. I almost wonder if he's going to have one of those sea limps. When you stand on a rocky boat for hours on end, your hips start to get that dysplasia, and eventually you develop a sea walk. Not that kind of walk like Snoop Dogg used to do. I'm talking about a walk like you're from the sea. He's going to come back a salty sea dog, probably smoking a corncob pipe with an eye patch and stories of a life at sea. I'm hoping it all went according to plan and that he's actually just enjoying all you can eat, like shrimp cocktails and rum drinks, because that's really what a cruise is all about. I was looking at different reasons I would ever put myself on a cruise, and I'm pretty sure the only reason I would do it is if a band that I love was doing a concert on a cruise, or a comedian that I love was doing a show on a cruise, because it's going to be a long time that you're all on the same boat. The chances of running into somebody famous that you admire are a lot higher than, say, going to a show and chancing a handshake at a after show situation at the merch table or what have you. So that's pretty much the only reason I would ever put myself into a cruise ship. But there are reasons I would get on a boat. The other one is riverboat cruises, because I've seen a lot of really cool things with Viking River Cruise, stuff through Ireland, Scotland, Wales, a lot of those areas. And I'm not sure why the justification for me is better, but I feel like I'd be safer and happier on a riverboat cruise than I would be on a cruise liner. Maybe it's because shore isn't hundreds of miles away in the situation of being on a riverboat cruise. I'm not sure, but do with that information what you see as you see fit. Hey, if you missed any portion of the program today, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. That's ksvptv.com. There, just look for the Mornings with Mike Winters tab, and you can click on that tab and enjoy the show and past shows in their entirety. In fact, if you're missing Mike, you can always just go back and listen to the shows from last week and bask in his warmth and glow. And, of course, here in just a bit, the interviews we did have this morning, Ms. Jocelyn will have them pieced up over on the Facebook page just as quickly as we can get it done for you. So if you're looking for those interviews, we'll have those coming up here in just a few minutes. It was a busy morning. In the 7 o'clock hour, a great little conversation that we replayed with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Miss Joan Bouet and Miss Janine Best. See, I do know your names, ladies. I fumbled the ball at the beginning. That's really all it comes down to. After that, we had a bit of an interview, most of the interview with Don Weld. Now, obviously, they're not doing the yard sale again tomorrow. Disregard that information, but great information about Memory Lawn, great information about Friends of Bitter Lake. So go back and check that interview out. It's already up over on the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. Great conversation in the 8 o'clock hour with Roswell High's vice principal and the voice of choice in southeastern New Mexico sports. Of course, I'm talking about Coach Art Sandoval. Great conversation about absenteeism and getting kids back to where they need to be, the basics of the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. Definitely recommend you go back and check out that interview in its entirety. And of course, this past 30 minutes or so, you've been listening to the interview with Dr. Sean Powell and Chris Bullard from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Again, amazing, amazing programs. I know I tend to go overboard with excitement when it comes to that kind of stuff, but the fact that you could have a career on the cutting edge of technology and of where we are as a society in 2 weeks, that's incredible. And never mind the fact that he saved that little nugget of information till we're right towards the end. But yeah, if you're looking to become a remote pilot, they can make it happen for you in as little as 2 weeks with the programs through Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. So I absolutely recommend folks reaching out and finding out more information about the programs available at our own little jewel here in the desert, Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Wanted to put a bee in your bonnet, baseballers out there. The Roswell Invaders are holding a baseball camp. That's going to be happening camps throughout the summertime. There's still a camp happening June 18th, starting June 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. There's also camps in July 2nd, as well as July 9th and July 16th from 10 a.m. to noon. Now, players should come dressed in uniform, bring your own bat and glove, as well as hat and gear. Don't forget the water, because you're going to be taking home a Camp Invaders camp shirt. But that being said, you want to make sure you stay hydrated out there. It's all happening at Joe Bauman Stadium. They're at 1000 East Poe. It's only $35 per camper. So if your kids are baseballing, have them learn from the best. The Roswell Invaders. Joe Bauman Stadium is the place to be. And again, those camps are running the next one, June 18th, as well as July 2nd, July 9th, and July 16th, all from 10 to noon out at Joe Bauman Stadium there on 1000 East Poe. If you want more information, head for RoswellInvaders.com. That's RoswellInvaders.com. Walk-ups are welcome. Payment will be taken at camp. So grab your gear, grab your glove, grab your bat, and head on down to the Diamond for Baseball Camp 2024. Speaking of activities coming up this summer, later in the summer, we got the Chaves County Health Expo. That's going to be happening over at the Roswell Civic Center right here in Roswell. Of course, stretched out over the facilities. They're going to have stuff outside as well. But there are exhibit and sponsorship opportunities. So if you're an organization that's dedicated to healthcare or health awareness, something with occupational therapy, any of those organizations, and you want booth space or exhibit space at the Health Expo, then this is your chance to get just that. It's going to be happening August 24th at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. And again, if you want to be a part of the event, exhibit and sponsorship opportunities are available. Contact Jennifer Smith at 575-637-4115. That's 575-637-4115. Visit expo at ChavesCountyHC.org. Shoot them an email for early bird pricing and prime locations, because we're still a few months out from the event. If you want to get the best spot in the house, get a hold of them right now. Contact Ms. Jennifer Smith at 575-637-4115. Email expo at ChavesCountyHC.org. The Chaves County Health Expo going down August 24th, 2024 at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. Speaking of activities at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, gearing up for UFO Fest season. It's going to be happening all around downtown Roswell, and all of the organizations have finally come together as one to work together for the common good of the festival itself. And I am very excited to see all of the camaraderie coming together. Galacticon going to be happening at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, stretched over 4 days, starting off Thursday with the film festival that'll be kicking off on Thursday evening. Then on Friday, they'll have the vendor booths open. You can come on in and check out the amazing halls, all the amazing displays. Do a little shopping with area vendors and check out that Roswell Film Festival put on by the Roswell Daily Record. Activities Saturday as well with the pet and alien costume contest, with the cosplay contest as well. So coming out for Saturday's event. And of course, we'll have guests on Sunday as well. Family movie nights, a whole lot of fun. Visit UFOfestival.com for all the info about everything you need to know with UFO Festival 2024. That's UFOfestival.com. Well, I think we did it. I just talked for a way longer time than I wanted to, but we are reaching the end of the program. Of course, you can go back and check it out at ksvptv.com. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton up next. And don't worry, Big Daddy's going to be back in his seat this coming Tuesday morning. I'll be back over at the second banana seat where I belong with all my toys and my bell and my distractions. Everything will be as it is supposed to be come next Tuesday. Clay Travis, Buck Sexton up next. Keep it locked right here on 106.5 KEND Roswell, New Mexico. Till next time, be seeing you.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Heading to a summit in Italy, President Biden aims